This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free. Hey y'all, how are you doing? Wanted to say hey to everyone I didn't see. Hey Darlene and Bad Girl, I said hey to y'all. Hey Cara and Abellis and Pinto. Hey y'all. I missed y'all so much yesterday. Like, I even thought about coming live last night, but then I was like, no, I couldn't. I got really busy. I was driving all day yesterday and I really missed y'all. So I'm glad to see you all here today. I want to warn you that this video that we're going to talk about is going to be very hard to talk about. It's titled, it's from Law and Crime Network, but Mr. Black is the one that is talking. He does a channel, Something the Truth. I've subscribed to him. I've watched him for years. He does a really good job talking about these cases, and he is pinned at the top of the comment section. I was able to do that before the live started. So if you guys would please give him a like and subscribe, because again, he's the one telling the story, but it's advertised as Law and Crime Network. So hopefully we'll be okay. If I go away, I'll be right back, and we'll talk about something else. This is titled Monster Babysitter and Boyfriend Savagely Beat 2-year-old Girl to Death. So I'm already going to give you like a really heavy trigger warning on this.
Mother.
And I think I've got it in past the song he does. We'll take it right back here. It was really like the intro to this made it even worse. So I'm kind of glad we're not going to do that part because it's really bad. Bad Girl, no, why? I hope not. Are you planting bulbs again? I got my garlic's coming up, Abellis. I'm so excited. My wheat hasn't started coming up yet. All right, let me get a trigger warning going for this because this is going to be a hard case to listen to. And with that, we shall get started. Aw. Abellis is trying to send Bad Girl warmth. Isn't that super sweet? All right. Again, trigger warning. This is going to be hard to hear. It's really sad.
Justice for Fallon. You couldn't break her smile.
It's called The Disturbing Truth is Mr. Black's channel. And again, he's pinned at the top. It's a really good true crime channel. He does a really good job with these cases.
29-year-old mother of...
But again, this is on Law and Crime Network, so hopefully we'll be all right.
To Kirsty Flood began babysitting 2-year-old Fallon Fridley in August of 2020. This went on for 4 months, 3 days a week, without incident. But on December 9th, the nightmare began when Fallon was found unresponsive in Kirsty's care before being rushed to the hospital. Various injuries on the toddler's body led to an investigation that would send shockwaves through the local community. Crying voices laced with rage screamed in unison. Justice for Fallon.
I tried to call and text Kirsty several times.
I apologize. I was muted. So I'm kind of doing a blind reaction to this case with you guys. I don't know this case. It already sounds really suspicious to me. A lot of times, you know, the falling and hitting the head incident thing at the babysitters, it unfortunately turns out more times than not that something nefarious has happened, and it's really sad. Like, I would hope that as a babysitter, if you couldn't handle it, you would say, look, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. I just can't handle this right now. And maybe try to find somewhere else for the child to go if you feel like you can't deal with it. I don't know. It's not. There's a lot of sad things that happen at babysitters' houses. Not a lot, but, you know, I hear about these cases happening at babysitters' houses. And it makes me even sadder because you put your child there to be taken care of and think that they're just fine, especially babies that can't talk, and you go to work trying to support your family, and then things like this happen. It just makes me really sad.
And calls were going straight to voicemail.
I'm Mr. Black, and this is the disturbing truth.
He said, should we just go get her? And I said, no, she'll be fine. I regret that now every day.
On Wednesday, December 9th of 2020, just 16 miles from Atlanta, Georgia, in a town called Sandy Springs.
Darlene, coming in with the information, said the mother knew the babysitter for a long time. They were friends, so she had no idea something would happen. Wow, that makes it even worse. It's a first for me too, yeah. Annabella said, hey, Darlene. So Darlene has heard about this case. So they were friends, so she fully trusted this babysitter. My goodness.
A typical day began for Kristen Fridley, or Chris, and her 2-year-old daughter, Fallon. The toddler was woken up at 6 a.m., dressed and given her morning snack, along with a cup of almond milk. Kristen told her daughter that she loved her and received the usual sweet reply of,
"You're a sweetheart."
before Fallon and her stepfather Cameron Gant left the house. Cameron would drop Fallon off at the babysitter's house at around 6:30 a.m. before heading on to work.
Hey, baby girl, thank you for being here. Baby girl said, hey, from Paula, I don't know how to say that, Palataka, Florida. Hey, how are you? From North Carolina. Saying hey from North Carolina to all the way to Florida.
Chris worked as a veterinary technician for an animal rescue organization while Cameron was a landscaper. When Fallon's daycare closed during COVID, Chris's friend of about 5 years, Kirsty Flood, would look after the little girl while the couple worked. In many ways, it would have seemed like the ideal situation. Kirsty was a close, long-term friend. So close, in fact, that years prior, she helped Chris come out of a struggle with addiction. Kirsty was seemingly worthy of the trust bestowed on her, especially considering the history she and Chris shared. And even more especially after 4 months of constant reliability in her care. Chris said herself that Fallon seemed so happy in Kirsty's care that some days when they would come to pick her up, she didn't even want to leave.
Hey, Fallon, come here. High five. High five. You're so funny. I love you. High five.
Flood.
That's so sweet. Those clips and things make these cases harder to watch. So again, I'm scrolling across the bottom, but I do want to give you a heavy trigger warning. Anders says, seems to be much crap happens in Georgia, Florida too. Hello, everybody. Hey, Anders, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Hey, Zio. Zio says, hey, from Texas. Hello, my love.
Flood had 2 children herself, an 8-month-old and a 3-year-old daughter named Harper. Fallon and the 3-year-old were best friends. Everything seemed like the perfect setup. While Chris was at work on December 9th, she received a text around 1:30 p.m. from Kirsty, asking if Fallon could stay the night at her house. In 4 months of babysitting, Fallon had never stayed overnight at Kirsty's, but Chris had no reason to suspect anything was off with the request. After all, 2-year-old Fallon and 3-year-old Harper were best friends. If anything, it just looked like a sleepover in good company, with familiar, trustworthy people. People who had been there when Chris herself was struggling.
I don't know what to think about that. They asked for a sleepover, and I'm assuming something bad had already happened. This mother's going to be traumatized for the rest of her life, even more so.
Harm could it do? Chris called Kirsty when she got off work at around 4:30 p.m., but got no answer. When she texted Kirsty asking how Fallon was doing, Kirsty responded saying that Fallon was fine, but they were all at the park and her phone was about to die. While odd, it didn't send off any immediate red flags. Later, Chris tried to call and text Kirsty several times, but all those calls went straight to voicemail.
Hey, Content Angel, thank you for being here.
Stepfather Cameron was starting to feel uneasy at this point and even suggested that perhaps they should just go pick Fallon up. But still, Chris thought there was no major cause for concern because Kirsty was someone she trusted and even looked up to.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Fallon. Happy birthday to you.
It says Fallon turned 2 in September of 2020, the month before Christy became her babysitter. So this was when she turned 2 years old. And again, like I said, these make it harder to watch, but we need to remember the victims in this, and so it's important to watch these videos. Palatka, Florida. I'm really just baby girl. I think it seems like a lot of Florida crime because we allow cameras in the courtroom. Wisconsin follows very closely to us on true crime. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing, baby girl. Baby girl.
Blow it. Blow it.
At around 6:30 p.m., Kirsty finally messages Chris to say that everyone is home and safe. Chris replies with no problem and asks if she can FaceTime Fallon. Kirsty tells Chris to give her an hour to charge her phone first. Then an hour later, Kirsty FaceTimes Chris from a very dim-lit room where Fallon appears to be propped up on the bed. Kirsty explains to Chris that Fallon has just woken up from a nap. Chris said the phone was roughly 5 feet from her daughter, and while she didn't notice anything visibly off in the dim room, Fallon was not responding to her mother. This was out of character according to Chris and Cameron. Then when Chris asked Fallon if she wanted to talk to Daddy and passed the phone to Cameron, the call suddenly ended. Cameron again suggested going to pick Fallon up, but again, Chris declined. A decision.
Right, because she thought that her daughter was safe. I mean, she trusted her fully and completely. My goodness. It just gets worse by the minute.
She regrets to this day. A couple of hours later, at around 9:20 p.m., Chris receives a crying phone call from a hysterical Kirsty Flood, telling her that she needs to come to Kirsty's apartment immediately. She claimed...
So, I mean, it sounds like something happened way earlier in the day. And, like, regardless of what you did, you got to get that baby help. She could have been saved. And now she's dead. Like, it's so sad. That girl said Fallon is a unique name for a little girl. I love it. I do too. I thought it was a unique name too. And it's really sweet. Kids' names have become ridiculous, in my honest opinion. Some of them are. I've heard about some that were like just like the name is pronounced some kind of weird way, but it's ABCDEFG. And it was just like, y'all, stop it. I think Fallon's pretty though. Abella said, bad girl, all. Mine are under heated blanket. Oh, I have like a really thick, insulated blanket that I'm sitting under right now. And I've got 2 quilts that I made on my bed with like muslin cotton in them. And they're so warm. So I'm snuggling up with y'all.
Fallon had hit her head on a slide and wasn't moving. Paramedics were already on the scene working on the little girl at this time. An officer got on the phone and asked if Chris and Cameron could meet them at the hospital. Next, Chris Fridley found herself facing a parent's worst fear. She was standing in a room at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta with Cameron and her mother. They were in there for what felt like hours. It was a small private room, the kind one might expect to see in an emergency department. This was the kind of room that no one wants to be in. The kind of room with walls that rarely echo good news.
See, Mr. Black does a good job with these cases. Yes. That on the screen, no, that's not Basil. Basil is a different bunny. If you don't have members. The members have like little Basil emojis. But I think that's the no, there's pictures of my community post. If you go through those, you can see Basil. He's in here. He's laying behind me in the sunlight that's coming through the window. He likes to lay in the sunlight because it warms him up.
Chris demanded to know what was going on and begged to see her daughter, but her pleas were denied. Fallon was alive, and the doctors were running tests and doing everything they could to stabilize the 2-year-old, a 2-year-old whose mother was getting angry. Chris couldn't understand why she couldn't be beside the angel she created.
Abellis, thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships and supporting the channel. You're so amazing. Thank you for doing that. I really appreciate that. You're so sweet. Thank you. I'll play our clip. You're such an awesome supporter. I really appreciate that. Content said great name. Anders said he had a spooky voice. Yeah, he does have a spooky voice. Yeah, the bunny sniffs out the bull crap. Yep. What's wrong, Abellis? Chew friggin' chew. Content. All aboard. All right.
But looking back, she now assumes that she too may have been initially suspected, and what the world now knows was a horrific case of child abuse. The doctor came into the room randomly with updates too vague to conclude anything inherently negative or positive from, but one thing stood out to Fallon's mother. A question he asked in repetition.
What happened to your daughter?
Chris was distraught, confused, maybe even offended at the audacity. Was she getting blamed for something? What exactly had happened to her daughter?
Bad Girl said, so generous, Abellis. Abellis is so generous, and Abellis is amazing. I love Abellis so much. She's awesome.
She had no idea.
I was asking to see Fallon. They said, not yet, we're working on her, and they wouldn't let me see her.
The only information she'd been given was that her daughter had fallen off a slide and hit her head. But the doctor explained that Fallon's injuries were not conducive to playground injuries. In fact, he'd never seen a child recover from damages as severe as those he'd seen on the 2-year-old's body.
Could you imagine being a mother and hearing that somebody that was like presumably one of your best friends, like that just kept your daughter overnight, and then having this happen to you the next day, and the doctor's like, what happened to this child? What and they're telling you that she's not going to recover? Like, I could not imagine. You see all the videos of her. She was obviously very well loved. Abella said, I still want people in chat to get memberships done YouTube. Yeah, I don't know why they do that. You are the best. Thank you.
Simply put, Fallon would need nothing short of a miracle to survive.
Does your daughter have any health conditions?
The doctor asked a now hysterical Chris. But apart from a mild heart murmur that had seemingly mended itself by the child's 2-year checkup, the answer was no, she didn't. Not that anyone was aware of, anyway. But it was clear that Fallon's injuries were nothing to do with a heart murmur. The doctor...
Zaya said she hadn't ever asked to keep her overnight before, and I still don't understand why. I know, like, supposedly the daughter and this little girl were best friends, so, you know, the mother didn't think it was weird the first time, but it is odd that she never asked before and then she all of a sudden asked that night. That tells me that something happened way earlier in the day and they could have got her help. Like, regardless of the charges or whatever that would have happened, they should have got this child help and maybe she could have been saved. But at the point that you're beating on a child, maybe you need to leave the situation and call the police then regardless and say, I don't know, I need to get out of here. I don't know what's going on or something. Like, my mom never left us overnight anywhere. Yeah, I don't let the kids stay overnight very many places. Zaya said those videos are horrific. I just seen the ones where she was a baby, but I'm sure it's going to go through it. My kids they only stay with the neighbor that lives literally like 100 feet away. So that's the only place they've ever stayed overnight.
Doctor left the room again. In that moment, a calmness washed over Chris. It was as if a part of her brain shut off. Unfortunately for the family of Fallon Fridley, what Chris refers to as a sweet glaze of denial was nothing more than the calm before the storm. A few moments later, an older man entered the room and introduced himself as the chaplain. But Chris didn't want to see a chaplain. Her daughter was going to be fine. She was offended by his presence because it alluded to a tragedy that she believed was not going to occur. The doctor said himself a miracle could save Fallon, and in her mother's mind, that's exactly what was going to happen. That's what had to happen. When the family was moved to the PICU waiting room, they thought they were finally going to get to see their little girl.
The doctor came in and said we have her stable, but critical.
So Chris and Cameron were relieved, and seeing as the PICU room had a bed in it, they began to discuss what they needed from home in order to stay overnight. But the problem was, when they were told the words stable but critical, they only heard the word stable.
Well, of course you would only hear the word stable because you're going to be as optimistic as you can about the situation. They were hoping for a miracle, and you can't think, you're not going to think about critical. You're just going to keep praying. Bad Girl said she was trying to hide Fallon's injuries. She absolutely was, instead of getting her help. Abella said, incidentally, I just brought an 18 inches tall white Christmas bunny ornament. Oh, you're calling him Basil? You bought the Christmas bunny ornament with lights for the yard, calling him Basil, of course. That is so sweet. Miracles are unfortunately rare. It's kind of contradictive. Yeah, it is. It is a contradictive statement.
A new female doctor greeted them in the PICU room to discuss Fallon's condition and have the family sign off on some medical procedures. One of these procedures involved inserting a catheter into the child's leg. On the form, it read, 90% chance of recovery. But the doctor's expression indicated that sadly, this was not the case for Fallon. 90% was only relative to the success of the procedure itself, not the little girl's chance of survival. Fallon had immense internal bleeding, zero brain activity, and her heart was only working because of the medication she was being given. If it wasn't for medical intervention, the 2-year-old wouldn't be breathing. But as far as Chris was concerned, a miracle could still occur. Her daughter wasn't dead if her heart was still beating. No matter what they told her, there was still hope. If Fallon was alive, she could pull through. But as much as Kristen Fridley couldn't accept the information she was given, she was about to have to face the truth of the matter. As a cold blue was called to the doctor that stood before her.
Constance said, what is wrong with people, right?
Chris's life would forever change with 5 simple words. Her heart stopped beating again. After the family was asked to follow the doctor out of the room and down the hall, they were led into another room where they finally got to see their baby girl. But it wasn't how any parent should ever have to see their child. It was a total nightmare. The family watched in horror as so many doctors tried to keep Fallon alive. Chest compression after chest compression after chest compression. I can't imagine the trauma that a parent would face witnessing something like that. The doctor informed the family that they would have to make the call soon. If they didn't, they'd only be doing more harm than good. Chris began to scream and beg for them to save her daughter's life. She said her legs gave out and she almost hit the floor, but someone caught her. She was hysterical, as anyone would be. When you have a 2-year-old, your life is in that child. You live your life knowing that...
Yo, he'll make you cry. This is sad. I could imagine. Mr. Black, the way he tells it, he'll have you crying, for sure.
Every step you take leads to the protection and safety of that soul you created. You would never concede, you would never give up on them. It just isn't possible. But while Kristen screamed for God to take her instead of Fallon, her cries fell upon deaf ears. The CPR stopped. The nurses and doctors backed away from the little girl's bedside, and the room went silent. Chris rushed to her daughter, crying out and begging her to wake up, but she wouldn't. She was gone. A nearby nurse gently picked up Fallon and placed her into her mother's arms. Kristen Fridley held her daughter there as she stroked her hair and kissed her face until her own screams became mumbles, mutterings that still begged for her daughter Fallon to wake up. And as she sat there,
That's them holding her hand at the hospital. Bad girl says she was too cute to precious innocent child. She really was. I dropped the StreamYard link if anybody wants to come up on panel today.
She felt the baseball-sized knot on the back of Fallon's head.
At 118, they let me hold her, and I could just feel the back of her head, how swollen it was, and her body was purple. She didn't look like my Fallon, and I probably stayed there with her for an hour just holding her.
Yeah, Content said they took pics. Yeah, like I think they just took a picture of her hand. I don't think like them holding her hand. And you can see by all the pictures and videos, they were very much doing things like that. And I mean, I couldn't imagine being a parent put in that situation. I would want pictures of the last time I got to hold my baby or see my baby too, regardless. You know what I mean? And it just showed holding her hand, and you could tell, you could see the little IV in her wrist or whatever. No, baseball size knot in the back of her head. Yeah, that's insane. And Content said it's not the mommy beater, right? No, it was the babysitter, from what we understand so far. Anders said horrible. Absolutely.
This is what I see every night before I go to bed.
Like I always say, please remember all the victims in this story. This is a hard one to listen to. Content said there's also some folks who take pictures of the dead person at funerals posing with the coffin and stuff. Yeah, they do some crazy things with those things. They'll like pose and playing cards and things. It's crazy.
Fallon Lynn Fridley died on December 10th, 2020, in a hospital with the people who loved her the most right by her side. And while Fallon may very well be in a better place, the ones that stood near as she took her last breath wanted answers. What really happened to that innocent little girl? An autopsy of Fallon Fridley shows the child sustained a skull fracture as well as multiple internal
skull fracture, multiple internal injuries, a laceration to her liver, a laceration to her spleen, damage to her colon, damage to her intimate areas. What? Oh no. Bad girl said no, it was the babysitter's, the mother's friend, Angel. Thank you. Bellis, they've been doing it more recently here in the United States too. Damage to the colon and damage to intimate areas is what has me like, oh hell no. Like, it's bad enough that you beat her, but oh no. Oh God.
Injuries including lacerations to her liver, her spleen, and even her colon. A medical examiner ruled the death as homicide by blunt force trauma. According to babysitter Kirsty Flood, Fallon fell and hit her head on the slide while at a park on December 9th. When they returned home to apartments on Monterey Parkway in Sandy Springs, Kirsty said she noticed the little girl was acting a little strange, so she put her to bed. Then later she claims Fallon wouldn't wake up. EMS responded to a 911 call regarding the child being unresponsive. After
the colon and the colon being damage to the colon and damage to the intimate areas is very concerning. Darlene said, oh no, I didn't know about the intimate areas. Oh my God. Yeah.
After arriving at the apartment and administering CPR, Fallon Fridley was transported to the hospital where she would sadly pass away the following day. That same day, Kirsty is brought in to be interviewed by police regarding the matter. What you're about to see has never been seen by the public. You're going to witness the police interviews of both Kirsty Flood and her boyfriend, Jeffrey Myers. The details that unfold during the following series of interrogations are hard to hear, but listening to them helps paint a picture to better understand how things transpired the final day that Fallon Fridley was in the care of Kirsty Flood.
All right, Kirsty.
All right, so we're going to watch the interrogations now. Anders said, we don't have open coffins here. I think the funeral home thing is kind of creepy. Really? That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know how falling down the slab would hurt her internal organs either, Abellis. Yeah, it would seem that way, content. Zaya said it was revealed that she was doing it to her own as well, not just found. Oh my God. I hope she rots in prison. You have caskets? Wow. Abella said, Anders, we don't in France either, if I recall, but we do here in Canada. I don't like it personally. I don't like it much either. I had to see my dad and my stepmom. And, while it was nice to say goodbye, they don't ever look the same as they did anyway. So I don't like the open coffin thing either.
This is my partner, Detective Pearson.
Hello, Mr. Pearson.
Hello. You doing later up? I think it's so stuck being here.
Yeah, I'm already out. I'm always out 10 in the morning, still thirsty.
Darlene's given us a warning here. She said her interview will make you mad. She made herself sound like a wonderful person and tried to blame it on the baby's stepdad or dad. Oh my God. Real quick, content said they don't even look like how they're supposed to look. They don't. It's weird. And Zaya said true crime is a nasty business, and when it involves children, the world's most innocent children, it's more than infuriating. And it absolutely is. These are hard subjects to cover anyway. And then you're talking about a beautiful, very much loved 2-year-old baby girl. It's hard would be an understatement.
Gotcha. Well, it's hard because right now we're in the weather where you can get cold.
You can wear a sweatshirt and shorts at the same time.
Yeah, it's so jacked up right now. Sorry, my notes are all jacked up right now because it's been one of those days, unfortunately.
Get that.
Sorry.
After the officers introduce themselves to Kirsty, the leading detective preps his notes to begin questioning. Kirsty asks if he's met Fallon's mother.
See, you met her mom?
What's that?
You met her mom?
I did, yeah.
How's she doing?
She's obviously upset. I mean, I don't think there's any way to not be right now, not be upset. But she's upset. I met
Cameron,
met him as too. I reserve judgment because that's what I do.
Yeah.
I know that was hard to do in this case, reserving judgment. Content said, as I've aged, I don't get angry at crimes. I get horrified. I wish I was there. I get angry and want to vigilante style justice them. Zaya gave us a trigger warning and said during the beginning of the interview, she didn't realize the baby had passed. So they had a little more leverage throughout this interview. Thank you. Yeah, he's doing the good cop thing. How's she doing? Really? Jerk. Yeah. Right, Abellis? Right? I don't know. That's a good question. Bad Girl says, I wonder if they killed Fallon to cover up the SA. I don't know. It's a good question. Probably not. Unfortunately, it sounds like it was going on probably for a while, unfortunately. So it's like the Stephen Stearns thing. Like when you're able to get away with it, why would you unalive them? Unfortunately. When you have another 12 years on you, you just get grossed out and horrified, said content, right? Sayo said, I'm not sure about that. I don't think so because she was doing it to her own, so I don't see it, maybe. This is torturous stuff, content.
We can then tell.
Well, ma'am, what I'm doing. So I'm coming in, when you see me walking in late, that means I have absolutely no idea, or I really don't know what's going on. So can you tell me what happened to catch me up? Because again, that's why I'm not asking any questions, because I don't know exactly what's happening. So I just wanted to hear your side.
You guys didn't talk already?
No, actually,
They came in late, so
I've been so busy.
She sounds like she's using the way she's talking like almost slurring her words a little bit. Excuse me. Indie Girl said, wait, she was violated more than one. Yeah, evidently this babysitter was violating all of them more than once. Yeah, Yeah, evidently. I don't know. I mean, I would think so. They didn't, evidently, she had been doing it to her own children. So they probably had been doing it for a while. But I don't know. They could have done it one time and it done this. I don't know. There was damage to her colon and damage to her intimate areas. So, I don't know the story really. Constance said, is she cuffed? Not yet. She won't last under arrest. She won't, because the when people find out, if they find out what she's in there for, that yeah, she'll be getting. They'll steal her food. They'll drop bombs, which is where you put like pee and urine in the milk cartons, and they'll be throwing them in the cell. She's gonna go through some shit. Content said, "Oh my God, sweet Jesus, yeah."
Busy at the hospital and doing other things that, yeah, I haven't even talked to yet.
Okay, can I ask you one question?
Mhm.
How come they did this so fast?
Did what so fast?
Just let her go.
What do you mean let her go?
Like, well, wasn't it funny?
She's still at the hospital.
She's okay.
I mean, she's not doing okay, but she's still at the hospital.
She's okay.
Like I said, well, she's not doing good.
But she couldn't be okay.
I don't know.
She still have a heartbeat.
Heart's still beating.
God,
Heart's still beating.
God has a plan then.
It seems like the detective is caught off guard by the fact that Kirsty is unaware that Fallon has died. This may alter how he initially planned to conduct his questioning going forward.
If you have a heartbeat, you have the chance.
Yeah, her heart's.
If I had to guess, I would think she's crying for herself. Zaya said she wasn't under arrest yet. Lethargic, yeah, almost slurring her words. Content says she's just sitting like she's cuffed. Yeah, she has her hands resting in her lap. Figgy, I don't know. Her innocence. That was the friend. Oh, Bad Girl said that was the friend that essayed Fallon, not the boyfriend, or both of them. I'm not sure, hon.
Her heart is still beating.
Thank God. Thank
Right,
God.
Indy?
Thank God.
And Kirsty, I don't think.
Why did that dude? They were gonna tell me she was gone, and
Who said that?
the officer.
No, she's not. She's not gone. Her heart's still beating.
Why did you tell me that?
Honestly, probably just miscommunication.
Apparently, officers don't have to tell the truth during questioning. And since they've already led Kirsty to believe Fallon is alive, they probably realize she's more likely to continue to talk to them truthfully if she thinks a murder charge is off the table. At this point, if she were to admit to assaulting a child, it's a much lesser charge if that child is still alive, rather than if her crimes resulted in that child's death. And if Kirsty
And that's all things that he took into account when he realized that she didn't know the child was deceased. But side note real quick, just like he said, the police don't have to tell you the truth. They can lie to you. That's why you need to get a lawyer if you ever find yourself being questioned. Hopefully you don't. Abella said, Bad Girl, yeah, they're both POSs. And then Bad Girl said, bitch, you already know Fallon's not okay. Y'all are so smart. I'm going to try to play it without pausing so much.
Kirsty asks for a lawyer, the interview is over. Hope is a powerful tool in many interrogations. As long as Kirsty Flood has hope, she's likely to talk.
Just confirming, Kirsty, the last name's Flood, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Sometimes I can't even read my own writing. I'm just writing so fast and just, yeah.
We're good. So you want to do the mask thing, or what?
We do. Would you feel better if I had a mask on?
No, I just prefer to speak.
Yeah.
And not be, you know what I mean?
The hope that we mentioned before, coupled with the leading detective's calm, casual, friendly demeanor, could be the cause of Kirsty fully removing her mask. Maybe she's starting to relax into the situation and believes she's not in as much trouble as she once may have thought. You'll notice her tone of voice becomes more stable, and her need to hide behind the mask disappears.
I typically watch Fallon 4 days a week, roughly. I've been with my company for 6 years, so I'm getting paid unemployment to stay home. I'm also in school for cybersecurity. I have a newborn.
Her mask did come off, and it's easier to look her in the face and see she's telling the truth. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. This is horrific.
A 3, almost 4-year-old, and Fallon
Lawyer?
is 2. Like I said,
Content wants me to say lawyer. Lawyer? Do I say it funny? I hope not. Lawyer. That's what I say, lawyer. I need a lawyer. I ain't coming up in this courthouse without no daggum lawyer. Is that what y'all want me to say?
with her 3-4 days a week. Me and her mom, you know, we've been through a lot together. I helped her get sober a long time ago, quite some time ago. I was reached out to saying that she was homeless and, you know, strung out, and, you know, no one, she wouldn't listen to anybody. And I was just like that one person that kind of just like spoke to her, that she listened to, right? So it took me to detox. Fast forward, she went down to Miami, had Fallon in rehab with some scum. He's never raised her, never claimed her.
Oh, I was about to say, is she talking about her friend? Because that's showing me resentment already. Hey, Red Act Ed. It's so nice to see you. How old is this POS? I don't know. You just warmed up your whole city. Oh, my goodness. I don't know how old she is. I think she's young, 20s, maybe early 30s.
Her, never nothing. So I have a soft spot for Fallon. That's why I charge $125 a week on a night. And that's nothing if, you know, the price isn't ridiculous.
It's not expensive at all.
No, and I do it because she's a friend, and I do it because I love Fallon. I don't know Cameron very well, but
We'll come back to the topic of Fallon's stepfather, Cameron, later. But Kirsty seems to want to use the information she's divulging as a way to paint herself as a saint. And to be fair, it's also worth mentioning that most of the people that spoke about Kirsty did so painting her in the light of a loving mother who adored her own children. But it's worth noting that Kirsty had a history of battery dating back to 2010, where she was ordered to undergo counseling and avoid contact with the victims of her assault. She also had a history with drugs. She goes on in her interrogation to briefly mention Fallon's stepfather, Cameron, before continuing to discuss the details that transpired on December 9th.
I don't.
She's got a history. I mean, it sounds like an anger issue to me. And like I said, she kind of sounded like she was on substances, at least in the beginning of this name and of this interview. I was reading this comment. Red Act Ed said, I thought everyone, she says my name, redacted. Oh, redacted. Is that how you want me to say it instead of Red Act Ed? Redacted.
I don't know him. I know a little bit. I'm trying to get to know him. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Long story short, he drops Fallon off this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, and she stays. She goes in the room with Harper. She plays with Harper for a decent amount of the day. Her and Harper, my daughter, are like best friends.
Yeah.
So they play, and then finally we end up going to the park. This is hours later.
Yep.
So for breakfast, she had the cereal bar, lunch, cheese puffs. They had some goldfish, graham cracker, chocolate ones. She was eating fine. She only eats junk food, right? And at my house, we incorporate vegetables.
Which does she have problems? Sorry.
That's all that I eat too.
I'm trying to keep up with you. You said cereal bar for breakfast and
Cereal bar for breakfast, and then she had goldfish, cookie, the chocolate ones.
Mhm.
And then she had cheese puffs.
Okay.
And then she had some of her yogurt. I buy her Silk yogurt because she is non-dairy. So she primarily does almond milk and stuff like that. So I buy her specific things that she likes. She is very.
Indie Girl says she's too much. I can't believe how, even on substances, someone could be so cruel. Yeah. Content said cheese puffs and goldfish for lunch. Yeah, I would have done something else, a peanut butter and jelly or something. Anders said she has a history of battering children. I think that it's somebody else. If she had a history of battering children, I don't think she would have been allowed around the children in the first place. Yeah, Indie Girl says she's throwing shade, right? And then Darlene said, here we go. At her house, they have vegetables. Yeah, right. Sounds like to me they get abused at your house. That's what it sounds like to me. Redacted said she's the sitter. Yeah.
Very, very small. I don't know if you ever noticed, but she doesn't really eat much. But when she does, it's typically junk food. So, that's just what it is. But anyway, so she ate that. Okay, so we get in the car. Morgan Falls is what?
That is so funny, Abellis. Content said why is she wearing that mask? Was this during COVID? Yes. This was in 2020. Yes. Thank you, bad girl.
A mile and a half from my house.
Yeah, barely.
Kirsty is referring to Morgan Falls River Park, which leads to Overlook Park, a popular destination for families with kids as it has a nice partially covered kids' play area overlooking the Morgan Falls Reservoir.
We were the last people there.
Right before dark, though?
Yeah,
Okay.
right when it was getting starting to get dark.
Probably 5:30.
Ish. We started leaving. No, when it started getting dark, it was like I have my phone. My phone died when I was out there. But I have
she's lying. Like I could tell when she just said, my phone died when I was out there, and now there's this long pause. That's evidently her thing that she does when she's lying. I could tell she was lying just then. And I'm sure the cop could too. Content said it was proven fact that violence in the home increased during the pandemic, you guys. This is another example of that. I thought about that when he said it was during COVID. I thought about that. And then Darlene said the babysitter's boyfriend knew she had a bad temper and did the shit she does. I don't think he was involved in it. He just didn't do anything to stop it. I could be remembering wrong about him. Thank you for that information. That's, yeah, you got to, I don't know. That's messed up. Yeah, Abellis, that is funny for somebody to just offer you goldfish.
4:26. How's my girl? So we're about to go to Morgan Falls. My phone is about to die. We just pulled up. She said, tell her mommy misses her. And then here's a picture of my daughter and Fallon playing together, besties.
Yeah.
Right? So I also I'm on the floor. The reason why I'm right here is because I'm on the floor with my infant. I always bring like a little picnic thing, snacks, blanket, going on. And you got 3, you try to monitor it all. So anyways, I put both the babies on the swing, my babies.
Yes, Content.
On the bucket swings. And then she goes down the slide, falls off, and when you go down a slide and you drop, that's what happened. And I was telling him she dropped, but I don't know if that had anything to do with anything. You know what I mean?
Did she cry at all?
When she's such the most quiet baby, and that is alarming in situations like at home.
Gotcha.
Kirsty has just admitted that Fallon is a very quiet child. If detectives were wondering if maybe the child had behavior problems and an adult lost control.
Right, that's what I was thinking when she said that. Very quiet baby. Me and him are on the same lines. Like if they thought that she beat her out of an anger issue because the child wasn't well behaved or something and was misbehaving and she beat her to death. I mean, not that it would make it different, but that crosses out that possibility now. Yeah, redacted. My husband worked every day during COVID too. Yeah, because you killed her, fool, said Abellis, right? Yeah, we were lucky enough for him to continue working because it would have been, I don't know what would have happened if he hadn't been able to work.
While dealing with that through abusive discipline, well, Kirsty just ruled that out. The detective peering off into space and reaching for the back of his head may indicate a restructuring of questioning strategy. It's clear that letting Kirsty speak is the most optimal thing he can do right now.
And that is what has been an issue for me, but you can't go to a mother and say, hey, the man you just married, I understand his past, but, and maybe look into that a little bit better, or maybe not leave him with him all day on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Wholeheartedly, yeah.
That first of all, I would never marry a man with a record like that.
Yeah.
Second off, you're never going to be left with my child.
Yeah.
Like I said, I would.
So she's already trying to place blame on the stepdad. I wonder if she's realized that they know about the damage to the intimate areas and is trying to pass off blame to the possible stepdad.
I wouldn't even let them babysit my children.
No, I wouldn't either.
So
No
there's
way,
that.
Jose.
At this point, it's unclear exactly what past Kirsty's referring to when it comes to Cameron or...
It's hard to understand. Oh, Bad Girl said, who is this bitch throwing stones at? At the baby's mama, the baby that she brutally murdered. She is so sanctimonious, doiling out pearls of wisdom to these cops. Yeah. Disgusting.
What this has to do with the damage Fallon suffered while in her care. After dropping Fallon off with Kirsty, Cameron was nowhere near the little girl. This is the second time she's mentioned Fallon's stepfather. Regardless of what his past may be, the fact remains that Cameron was not present during the time Fallon appears to have suffered the injuries. Kirsty was.
So anyway, she's always at my home. I feed her, I bathe her, I do everything for her. I try to limit her mom's stressors to the maximum degree. Basically.
I was curious too. I was seeing that was pretty good. Do you have like any other pictures of her today?
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh, I'm all about the pics.
Cool. Can I take a look? I just want to see because I'm just trying to play catch up. So I really appreciate you doing
that. I am all here. Let me go make it easier.
And these are today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's hoping she'll hand him her phone and he can go through it and look at other things, I think. And also, since he asked, are they from today? He wants to look at pictures that are actually and see, maybe trying to figure out a time of death, if I had to guess. Yeah, I want to move to Canada, but I'm too cold right now. I couldn't survive up there.
Okay.
So these are...
Wait a minute, that can't be her. That's your baby, right?
That's my little stud, Dawson. I love him.
So which one? Okay.
That's Fallon.
She's a cutie.
And that's my baby Harper.
Oh, what a sweet.
Yeah, so I have a 3-row seat. So I put their car seats in the back, and then I put my baby boy, face forward in the middle. Because I've been in 2 really bad car wrecks.
Oh, yeah.
So I try and, I just got that sticker on there today. I mean.
Oh, this was today?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That was from today?
I don't know about this picture, but this is definitely today because that was the jacket she was wearing this morning. Sometimes she likes to sleep in my son's crib.
Oh.
So I put that little love, those little beepy things.
The boppy or whatever it's called.
Yeah, and then I keep her safe, just in case if like I'm in the living room or whatever, because she's still little, whatever. But
I'm gonna do this and go back to the one because I'm just curious.
Which one?
The last one that you had shown. I'm sorry.
Looks like they're getting along so well, huh?
Oh, with them two?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're best friends.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Well, you can go. I mean, really, if you look at
Yeah.
if you look at my life is centered around my children. Was then into playing. Like I said, I consider her my child. She's literally.
I think they were hoping to get the phone, also see pictures from the day that it happened, and now they're just trying to make her more comfortable. Yeah, she's Miss Mother of the Year, said Redacted. Abella said, coming to Victoria, it doesn't get super cold. Yeah, you told me it doesn't get super cold there. And then Darlene said, girl, this idiot has cameras in her house. Just wait. Oh, God.
I'm, you know, part of my family. Gosh, she is right there. That's my son and my daughter. So like we really, you know, we really have made it something so special. That's why like I'm like really making sure that she's not. I don't know why he told me that she was gone.
It's possible that Kirsty may think she's coming off as a caring and responsible adult by showing pictures she took of her kids and Fallon that day. But in reality, the detectives are likely looking for visible signs of injury that may have been present during that time frame. If detectives were previously considering Chris and Cameron as suspects, this information might help rule them out. Next, the lead detective steps away, allowing the second detective to present his own questions.
Zio said all of this was caught on camera. Wow. Yeah, I see her comment.
You know what I mean? Then I want pictures and I need.
Sorry. Give me one second. Oh, no, it's okay. So, yeah, just.
That was a hand. Did you see the hand sign that was like hang 10? I don't know what it means, but he just spoke to him in code. Did y'all see the hand signal he gave before he walked out? What are we on? 3009. I'm going to take it back to 30. Watch his hand.
Own questions.
You know what I mean? Then I want pictures and I need.
Sorry.
He just gave him like 3 hand signals.
Oh, no, it's okay. So, yeah, just hang tight. Well, I'm just trying to, like I said, I was just trying to get caught up. So clearly the little girl she went to the hospital.
Zio said yes, and when it gets there, some of you will need to look away. I imagine I might have to look away. Content said, imagine as a cop in a homicide and having to see that video. Oh my God, gross. Yeah. Telling him to watch and make sure she doesn't erase things off her phone. Oh, wow. How did you know that? Because I didn't know. That was awesome. Thank you for letting me know. Probably means he has to go take a leak. I don't know if it's in this video or not. Probably. Mr. Black talks about like he'll lay it out and he'll make you cry, and so he probably has it in here.
Now that's what I don't understand. So I was literally asleep and my phone rings at roughly 11 o'clock and I came in. So that was where you believed, I guess, that she may have fell off the slide or whatnot.
Okay, so, I mean, to me, the slide, the thing, whatever, that just sounds like, well,
yeah, it sounds like a lie. Zio said, I saw the case file. You are really smart. I didn't know you saw the case file on this one. I just saw it the other day and had it saved in like a playlist of possible live streams. So I'm just learning about it. I need to look at the case file.
And then like on the bottom of the slide, there's you know, the bottom of the slide, and then you could like, when you lift your head up, the only thing I could think of is there maybe, because I noticed like a little bit of red right here. It's nothing serious. It's like a little bit of red. Mm-hmm. But that was it. I'm like, there's nothing serious enough to where it would be like, oh my gosh, like I need to rush her to the hospital because internal bleeding. You know what I mean? Like my child fell off the top of the playground. Mm-hmm. But a huge difference. Yeah. So I played it like it was. You know what I mean? Went home, laid her down. She wanted to lay down for a minute. So I laid her down. She has her own bed, actually, at my house. I have a bed for my daughter, and I have a bed for her. Laid her down next to her, and then cooked dinner. I cooked mac and cheese and vegetables.
Was she playing at the house when I got back? Was she okay then?
She was playing for like a second, and then when she wanted to go lay down. So in my daughter's room, she has a TV. She has all this stuff.
I mean, if she had literally fallen off the slide, and then she comes home and she wants to lay down, I'm already gonna like probably be trying to keep her up because, you know, worried about a concussion. Number one, if it's out of the ordinary for her to want to lay down at that time, that's another red flag. But you know, we know that it wasn't even, she didn't fall off the slide. So Zaya said the body experts talk about the open hand up and leaning towards the officer. She's gaining confidence through this series. See how she took her mask off so they can see her face. She was guarded at first. Now she is word vomiting all over herself. Abella says she's making it up as it goes. Zio said all of that I just said. Bad Girl said that whole thing passed by me, redacted. Yeah, you're not supposed to lay down after a head injury. That's why I was saying, like, if she fell off the slide, and I would already not want her to lay down and take a nap, probably for the rest of the day if I could keep her up, because I would be concerned about that. And then, especially if it also wasn't normal for her to take a nap at that time, but, we know she didn't fall off the slide, so.
Stuff they just love. So that's like the little spot, and then they have a playroom too. She went and lay down, and then just for a minute, and then I was like, Fallon, are you hungry? You want dinner? And she ran. You can ask Jeff. I'm not yelling so he doesn't think. She ran to the kitchen. I'm thinking, oh, my great, she's hungry. She feels good. She's great. She made me lay down for a second, whatever, we're cool. And then doesn't eat. I'm thinking, oh, that's weird. You know what I mean? You were just so hungry. I'm not giving you candy, I'm not just going to keep giving you candy. And that's like, I think what her parents might do, say, just easy, wean your way out is candy and chips.
Mm-hmm. Just to make it easy, just to get the food. Yeah, I get it.
And I'm overweight.
It's not great parenting, but hey.
No.
Why does she keep talking crap about this girl's parenting? Like, that's really getting on my nerves. Bad Girl said, I'm glad she talks too much. She's talking her way into life without the possibility of parole, right? I don't want her to go free, but I think it's a bad tactic to talk that much. It is. She should have shut up. I don't want her to go free either. Hey, Cara. Cara said, how to talk your way into prison, right? Yes, Abella, thank you for bringing that up. Abella says, oh, guys, by the way, Sarah wrote another letter. Yes, and Zio has been putting out the information on Sarah. She has the letter. She has a letter that Sarah wrote to the judge. It was like 24 pages, if I remember correctly. So make sure you guys check out this person right here, Zio Sandra Firelight. She's got all of the deets on the Sarah Boone case.
No, I get it too, but I'm overweight and I don't want to do it to my kids. So basically I'm just trying to have healthy options at my house.
Okay, cool.
So anyway, she didn't eat. Harper, I ended up giving all the food to my dog. I literally just threw it. She had 2 bites. She had 2 bites. I think she had the veggies and then maybe 1 shell of a noodle.
Barely anything.
And then the rest I just gave to my pet because I ran out of dog food and
It happens.
I couldn't go to the store. I was trying to cook dinner, trying to do all this. Didn't want to leave her. So we stepped outside for 5 minutes, whatever, 10 minutes, smoke stay. I don't even know how long it was. Not long at all. Go back in there and check on her and she's looking like this. So I'm like, what is that about?
Yeah.
So my daughter has a unicorn. I built her like a unicorn. You saw it, the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And she was just like this.
Yeah. I'm going to need to get them out of here. I'm going to go talk with them real quick. Yeah. So there's no, just so we can get this whole thing going.
Am I talking too much?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
In the middle of Kirsty describing the events leading up to Fallon being hospitalized, the lead detective excuses himself again to go into the other room and speak with Kirsty's partner, Jeffrey Myers.
She was, and then that's when y'all called when she had the.
Bad Girl brings up that she only ate 1 shell of a noodle. Fallon was suffering and dying. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Hey, Jenny. Oh my God. Like I always say, y'all are here right when you're supposed to be here. You're never late. I'm so sorry your car broke down. I hope that everything's okay and it's not going to cost much to fix it. I'm so sorry to hear that. Indy, she is vile. Cara said, did she just say I'm talking too much? Said content. And then Cara said, am I talking too much? No, you're fine. You just keep telling us how guilty you are, right? Yep. Talk your way right into I don't remember who. Somebody said life without the possibility of parole.
The distant look, I guess, that when you called the ambulance?
She had the distant look. I put her in the tub because shell shock. You know what I mean? That cold water
Yeah.
sometimes can, just do the trick, just real fast. So she was in her diaper and even still in her socks. And because I don't want to shell shock her too bad. Like,
Just put her in the tub with her socks and diaper.
like literally like sat her down like this, shone the cold water, held her back, like the back of her neck like this, and nothing. Didn't even
I was going to say, that's telling me that she's completely limp at this time.
respond to the water.
Put yourself in Kirsty Flood's situation for a moment. A 2-year-old that you're watching for someone else is displaying signs of cognitive decline so severe that they're refusing to eat and are unresponsive. What would you do? You'd likely call for help immediately. What kind of person runs a cold bath to submerge an unresponsive 2-year-old child in it in their diaper and socks? Shell shock is a term that started being used during World War I to describe a type of PTSD some soldiers experienced at war. This has nothing to do with resuscitating a toddler that's unresponsive by submerging them in cold water. What's even more frightening is that Kirsty made the statement that this can sometimes do the trick, as if what she said is common practice. Bizarre.
Yeah, it is. I didn't even think about that. Can sometimes do the trick. So how many times has this happened to you before, ma'am? If you know that it'll sometimes do the trick. I don't know, content. She seems to think she can talk her way out of this homicide. She does. Is the daughter of the Black Widow, is she the daughter of the Black Widow guy who made himself seem like he was a superhero trying to find the, quote, random guy who shot his wife? I don't know. I'm not sure, Cara. I haven't heard that. I thought you were talking about Mr. Black who was talking. I can't remember his name, but he was just convicted of the homicide of all his wives. Oh my goodness. Or calling everybody bruh. I heard somebody say bruh last night and it sounded like brah. Like they were saying bra. So that's what I'm going to start saying, bra. I hate the word bruh. Who has my voodoo doll? Not me.
Dar doesn't even begin to explain this.
So she just lost consciousness.
Yeah.
You're saying that after she had fallen in the at the park.
Well, her dad just told me he had the flu yesterday. Or on Monday.
Okay.
And she's been sick.
Okay.
Okay, so I say that to say she's been sick because she got my 8-month-old son sick, my daughter sick, all of us sick. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
And that was a couple weeks ago, but they said it was a sinus infection. And then on Monday, he calls me. I don't watch her on Mondays. Calls me around 8 in the morning or whatever. He's like, hey, can you watch Fallon? I need to go to the hospital. I feel like I have, or I feel like I'm super sick. And then apparently he had the flu. And then he drops her back off at my house. And I'm just thinking I don't even know. Do you know what I mean? I just wouldn't do that. We don't think the same.
Yeah.
He's also on methadone. So, he no judgment at all.
But judgment, so much judgment. I hate people that say, no offense, no judgment, and then continue on with something that's really offensive or judgmental. Cause you absolutely, you meant it that way. Stop it right now. Redacted said her voice sounds like a demon. It does, doesn't it? Thomas Randolph. That's the Black Widow guy. Okay. I don't think she's the daughter of him, but they might be closely related. She's calling my name. Yeah, Zio's name, she pronounces it Hio, but I try not to say that too much. Hio.
But I just know that your mental state, if you're on methadone every single day, is not going to be the same as it would be if you weren't.
Yeah.
Or, if you weren't abusing children, your mind's not going to be the same as if you weren't either, you fucking bitch. Hio, when she says Hio, it makes me think of He-Man, and then I think of He-Man being really strong And Zayo's like really strong and smart. So that's my relation to Hio. Oh, I was saying that because they both made themselves out to be the hero and did everything they possibly could to help. Yeah, there's a word for that, but I forgot what it is. It's some kind of like mental diagnosis for that kind of stuff. I love you too.
Methadone is a synthetic heroin. They need to take that off the street. I don't know why the doctors still give that out.
She
You know
is.
what I mean?
If Kirsty's assertion that Cameron has been prescribed methadone by a doctor is correct, it's likely to help him deal with coming clean off an addiction to opioids. Methadone helps reduce withdrawal symptoms, symptoms that can be dangerous and even life-threatening. If used correctly under a doctor's supervision and not abused, this is a good way to get your life back under control. Kirsty still seems set on painting Cameron as a bad guy, but she's doing a poor job of it. And again, whether or not he is, still doesn't explain what happened to Fallon.
Okay, so
Absolutely. Like, I can't with this bitch.
well, basically now I think I'm more clear at least. So when the kid, when she had basically, I guess, fallen off the swing there at the park, she was, talking and doing her thing back at the house as far as she would go. She wanted to go to sleep and that kind of thing. So she was.
The weird thing is that she wanted to go to sleep.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, she was communicating like you're right. I mean, she was just walking and things like that. Yeah.
It's perfectly normal for a 2-year-old little girl who initially woke up at 6 a.m. and has been playing all day to need a nap at some point. I don't need to look up any professional advice to attest to this because I have a 2-year-old who often naps in the afternoon, especially if the day has been an active one. For example, playing at the park.
I guess from what I'm understanding, the kid is pretty ill, to this point, but that's what we're trying to find out. I mean, you're saying that if she may have taken a little tumble off of a slide, but yet she was still walking, doing things, then went to sleep for a little bit, and then you came and saw her later. And I'm trying to boil up what you're telling me.
She always has,
And she just had like a distant look about her, and then now at what point did it go from that to put her and she's unresponsive in the tub?
Have you ever seen a kid do that?
Do what?
This.
I mean, looking to the left or right?
No, like literally like looking at you and then just go like this. And then just stop and not look back.
Okay. So you're saying she looked either left or right, one of the two sides, but just kind of looked up and that was it.
That freaked me out right there. I was like, okay, that's weird. To me, that just screams like, I don't know.
So why didn't you call the police or the ambulance or whatever right then? You know what I'm saying? Annabellis. Zayo said see how he moved himself back from caring for this little girl and into her lane by calling her the kid. Good police tactic. Thank you for pointing that out. Bad girl said, no, bitch, we don't know what you're saying. Absolutely not. Methadone is a controlled substance. It has an opioid. Yeah, it is an opioid. But it's used a lot to detox. Because when you come off of hard drugs like heroin and stuff, it can keep you from dying because you can't actually die from that. And alcohol, I think, and barbiturates, which is like Xanax and stuff. Alcohol and Xanax can send you into seizures. But anyway, that's what methadone is used for. It is an opiate, but a lot of people have gotten a lot of help from that. And Suboxone too. Suboxone is a blocker. It is a controlled substance, but I don't think it's an opioid. It could be, I'm not sure. Suboxone will block the things in your brain that basically make you want to go get high. And like if you were to go get high while you were taking Suboxone, it would make you so sick that you would end up in the hospital for like a couple of days. Like you wouldn't be able to keep anything down. You would just constantly be throwing up. And they help really good with people who have problems with substance abuse.
I don't even know, but I know that that's something I'm unfamiliar with. And being a mother, if I'm not familiar with it, just like the CPR thing, That's why we called the ambulance, because I'm not certified and I'm not going to risk someone's life trying to give CPR if I don't know how to do it correctly.
Again, as the father of a 2-year-old, I've watched countless how-to videos on administering CPR and stopping a child from choking. Should I ever need these skills, the internet has quick-ready tutorials that can save a life fast. Also, 911 dispatchers can assist you over the phone easily. There is no way the situation Kirsty is describing would prompt me to run a cold bath and put an unresponsive 2-year-old in it. Also bear in mind, the only thing Kirsty has really described up to this point is that Fallon was looking to one side.
And she would never look back. Her eyes stayed glued to the side, to what you're telling me.
No, I mean, eventually, after a couple minutes, it came back.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then we put her in the tub, 2 seconds. Just a quick little.
Were you and your boyfriend?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Just a quick little, he was helping me trying to do everything in the squat. Put her in the tub for 2 seconds and then, bring her back.
As far as that, I'm just saying, like, I'm trying, because I'm a dad.
Rocking her, like, we're literally rocking her, holding her, like, doing all that, like, just the comforting aspect, just trying to get, like, the whatever. I don't know, trying to do everything that I could motherly do. The natural mother things that you could do. And nothing was working.
Okay.
And she went, what?
At that point, after you got out of the tub,
I'm like, what? No, seriously, like, what?
No, seriously, like, what? What's going on? All right, stop it, bitch. Cara, that's a COVID mask that she had on her face when she walked in to get interrogated or be interrogated. And then after she found out Fallon supposedly wasn't dead, but I think she was dead at this time, she took the mask off and was a little bit more open about things, less guarded. Redacted said, Jesus, take the wheel. And I'm with you on that, honey. Jesus, take the wheel. Take the whole damn car, tires and all. Just take it all. Lord, take it all.
Is going on. Like, I could see if like poison or like something that would, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They need to run some tests on that girl. They really do.
All right.
And they need to run some tests on her. I don't know what to do from here on out though, as far as like, I'm her nanny and I'm her all this and I don't.
She's being so hostile towards the mother and the way she parents, and now she's like they need to run tests on her, like insinuating that somebody else did something. I don't know why you would say you need to run tests on her when you know you've been abusing her, unless you want it to look like you didn't, but I don't know. That's a weird statement for her to make. And I really hate how she keeps talking crap about the mother's parenting. It's like I said with the Sebastian and Rogers case. You don't go to your neighbor's house and tell them how to parent, how to do things. You don't tell them how to cook their rice or fry their taters. You don't do that. So stop. She parents how she parents. You do your thing while you watch her, unless the mother tells you to do something different. Like, why? I hate that shit.
No, I'm afraid of her mother's. I don't know if I should go to the hospital.
You should be afraid of her mother. Indie girl, I hope you have a good day.
Give her a hug. As if that was me.
The situation is way past hugs, and listening to Kirsty continually try to convince the officer that she's a great person who cares about Fallon is getting exhausting. When the lead detective returns, it's obvious that he's had enough and he's no longer playing Kirsty's game. He wants answers, and he asserts to Kirsty that he believes she has them. It's time for them to strip away that hope they gave her earlier in the interview.
okay, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of it, okay? She's in bad shape. Like real bad shape.
Like, what do you mean?
Like she might not make it through the night.
What?
Yep. So I'm going to read you some stuff because I have.
The way she said what is more like she's angry, not upset or sad. Right after she's talking about wanting to go to the hospital to give her a hug and to love on her. But the mother, she's scared of the mother, that the mother would get mad. Boy, if I saw that woman, they'd have to tase me because I'd be beating her ass. Regardless, like just from the fact that you said my daughter fell off a slide and then I see her and how she really is. Yeah, I'm beating your ass. I'm beating your ass right there in the hospital. Grab the tasers, grab the rubber bullets, grab the pepper spray. You're going to need all of it.
Have some concerns, okay? These are your Miranda rights. You're not under arrest, but you're here in the police station. I'm going to ask you some pretty hard questions, so I want you to know what your rights are. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used in court as evidence against you. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before you ask any questions and to have him or her with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you without cost, and he or she may be present at all times during your questioning. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will still have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So what we have here and why I'm concerned. Do you want to know all the issues that she has?
Yes.
Okay. According to the doctors in the ER,
Yes.
she has a skull fracture.
A what?
A skull fracture. Her brain is swollen and bleeding. She also
has internal bleeding. Zio said, wait till she starts hollering and telling them she's going to leave. And her boyfriend is like, that's my girl. I feel like, yes, we abuse kids together. I felt like he's saying, yes, we abuse kids together. We are solid. Wow. That's insane. Kara said, I don't know, officer. I pointed out that her shoes were untied, so she went to tie them and fell out of the car. What? She does have some nerve. Doesn't she, Abellis? Lord have mercy.
also has internal bleeding where she has, according to the doctor, let's see here, her belly is full of blood. She's got an injury to her liver, her spleen, and her colon, and is still actively bleeding inside. She has no brain function.
Oh my God, stop.
She's got bruises all over her body.
Stop.
She's got bruises all over her head. The external part of her head is small.
She's not cried again. I was going to say she's cried for herself, but she's already stopped pretending to cry that quick.
She has bruises literally all around her bed. I can show you pictures. So that picture you showed me just a few minutes ago, she doesn't look like that right now. She is bad.
And this is precisely the hole that detectives let Kirsty dig for herself by allowing her to talk and show them pictures she took of Fallon at the park that day. There's very little question as to whether or not Fallon's own family could have caused what happened to their daughter. And Kirsty's own rambling testimony has begun to box her into a time frame where only her and Jeffrey could have possibly been around Fallon when the injuries occurred.
Anders said, how could anyone do that to that cute little girl, right? Anders, I was thinking that maybe she got too angry and like beat the crap out of her, but she talks about how quiet Fallon was, you know, so that's making me think that it had nothing to do with the anger. And then I take into account that I've been told about how she had damage to her private areas. I don't know, but I'm scared. Redacted said unbelievable. Abellis said monsters. Bad Girl said only a monster without a soul. Redacted said 2 years old, so precious at that age. They really are.
You think it's the blood rushing to her head and all that stuff? You know, when you're laying in.
So when she was dropped off this morning,
Yeah.
how did she look? How did she act? Did you notice anything that was out of the ordinary?
Her dad just told me she had the flu. I mean, he had the flu.
That's it.
That's it.
You didn't see any bruises on her head, on her belly, and
She had scratches right here.
from a possible dog scratch, right?
She had a scratch right here, and then she had a bruise right here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
So
then I
no,
think she
no,
had-
no bruises up here.
No,
Okay, none of that was there.
I mean, she wears her hair like this.
Okay.
She literally wears her hair like this. I would, if I saw a bruise on her head.
So that tells me that if I had to guess, I would say she's trying to figure out how to cover the bruise, and she used her hair to do it. If I had to guess and think of what the fact that she wears her hair like this so it would cover the bruise makes me think that she had tried to do that to cover a bruise. Bad Girl said, we're all saying the same thing today. Yeah. Yep. What? Blood rushing to her head? Was she holding her upside down? I don't know. With the skull fractures and stuff, you're going to have brain swelling and blood piling up in the skull. Not one tear, said Bad Girl. Right?
I would call her mom immediately.
Okay.
I wouldn't just let a bruise just continue to be a bruise, because that's how you get internal bleeding.
Correct.
That's exactly how that happens.
Okay. And she's bleeding internally because she's got injuries to her spleen, colon, liver. And from what you told me, the only thing that happened to her today was the fall off the slide at Morgan Falls Park, where that ground is soft and squishy and bouncy.
Mhm.
So they made it that way so kids don't technically get hurt when they fall.
Right.
The injuries that this child has, according to the doctor, are acute, which means they have just recently happened.
There was absolutely no way that just happened.
So these injuries this child has are not considered.
So you're calling the doctor a liar, ma'am? Darlene said, I don't know how no one noticed bruising or bruises, but I guess her parents figured it was normal bruising because toddlers do fall a lot. It's just heartbreaking. And Zio said, when it comes to children, communities tend to unite as it should be. I am proud of all of you for being so passionate about the children. Yes. Yes, ma'am. And then Bad Girl real quick said, I think that's why she kept Fallon overnight, to hide her injuries. Yeah, I think so too.
Consistent with what you're telling me happened. The injuries this child has are from some severe abuse or injury.
How long have you had her today? Just as a
Oh my, I can't even believe. How exactly? How would that even?
What kind of reaction is that? Oh my, I can't even believe. Like, what kind of bullshit is that, ma'am? Your reaction gives you away. Really quick, Darlene said she had been beating and abusing that child for a while. I didn't know she was doing it to her own kids, but she took most of her aggression out on Fallon. Yep.
Could have happened.
You tell me, because we weren't there. Were you the only one with the child today?
I was around a bunch of people at the park.
No, when did you get
The child,
today?
were you caring for the child by yourself today?
I always care for her by myself. Always.
Okay.
Every day. There's never been an issue. Ever.
What time today did you get her? Or yesterday now? I
6
guess.
o'clock in the morning.
Oh, you had her all day long?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something's happened that we're not being told has happened. Because those injuries just don't appear.
There is absolutely nothing that I would ever do to a child. First
I could tell she's lying right now, and I'm not even trained to be able to tell when people lie.
and foremost. Second off, if you ever look at my kids, they've never been touched, and they never will be. I don't believe in violence.
I was about to say, why is she talking about touching the kids? I mean, again, Freudian slip, but like she's talking about beating them, but still, I would call it a Freudian slip.
So the fact that that's an acute thing that just happened,
And you didn't notice any of these injuries on the child beforehand?
I grabbed him the minute I saw him and called the ambulance. Does that add up to you? In your head, does that add up to you?
Lots of crazy things can happen.
If you're concerned about something and the first thing you do is grab somebody and call the ambulance.
Kirsty makes it sound like she was so concerned with Fallon's condition that the first thing she did was ask Jeff for help and then call an ambulance. But she'd already admitted to running a cold bath in which she submerged an unresponsive toddler before holding her and rocking her. This was all seemingly before she called for help. Either Kirsty wasn't that concerned with the child's well-being, or her concerns were more deeply invested elsewhere.
I think they were more deeply invested elsewhere. Zio said, "Simmer down, whippersnapper."
Kirsty doesn't see what the detectives don't understand about her side of the story.
I don't understand where there would be a confusion about that.
Well, the confusion is the kid has injuries, severe injuries that she might not make it through the night, that we're saying just appeared out of nowhere. How is that not confusing?
No, that is extremely confusing. And the only thing that I could even think of is if she tripped walking with Harper on cement. That's it.
Those injuries
Or minute, right? They're minute. Those are little.
No, the injuries she has are not little.
No, that's what I'm saying.
So her tripping and falling would not cause those injuries. Her skull is broken. Her skull is fractured.
Like, I can't tell. I can't with her because I can tell when she's lying. Bellis, if you were unconscious, I would put you in my car and drive 120 to the hospital. So don't worry, I would not put you in a shower. That girl says guilt is oozing out of this bitch. Right? Right? Why did my chat get eaten? It wasn't ugly. I don't know, Rubber. That's weird. My mods don't delete chats. So it must be something with YouTube because they don't delete chats like that. Abella said, "Dumbass, they know you're caught. Give it a rest." Right. She went too far, says Darlene, and now she's realizing that. Yep.
I don't even understand.
Did Jeffrey do something?
Absolutely not.
So tell me how this happened.
Neither of us are violent people.
Basically, if you've got the kid, the reason I'm asking, from 6 a.m, right?
Yeah.
Maybe at 6, roughly, almost 24 hours ago, because we're working on 2 a.m. A child with a fractured skull is not going to just make it through the day and then just decide by the end of the afternoon that she's sick.
Because you're saying during the whole day, she's doing fine, everything's great, nothing's going on. All of a sudden at dinner time, she starts acting weird.
That's what doesn't make sense to us, because the fractured
Her and
skull
Harper
is-
played in the room all day long. I had that in a text message.
Okay.
And that's
You went to
exactly
the
what
park,
I
right?
said. Yes, and I watched my son. I also have live footage in my home.
Okay. Do you have access to that?
I do.
Okay.
What are you thinking right now? Like, you know what you did and you're just offering it up on a silver platter? Lord have mercy. When it came to common sense, God gave her none. Darlene said she was trying to fix it before the ambulance showed up or her parents came to get her. That's why the cold bath. Yeah, absolutely. She's trying not to get caught. And again, more concerned for herself than the child.
What's it recorded on?
Wise.
Wise. Okay, I don't know that one.
It's WYZE. The fact that she has all of that is heartbreaking, but the fact that any of that would ever happen under my watch in my life, it would never happen.
Hey Trixie, yeah, I haven't seen this video yet. They've told me a couple of things. I'm listening. She's definitely a POS.
So this WISE recording you have,
Yep.
is it through an app?
I wonder why though, because we know from the medical examiner's report that she had injuries to her private areas and the busted colon. Why aren't the police bringing that up to her and asking her about that?
Or is it actually hard recorded like a DVR or something?
It's through an app.
Through an app.
Yes.
Okay. How do we get access to that?
I have an SD card I could find for you probably. Like in it, I could pull it out. It's basically the whole, let me see.
Zio said they don't want her to close down. That's probably why, yeah.
What you looking at?
I'm going back. Is it the 9th, right?
It is now the 10th, right now as we speak, but yesterday.
Zio said, I think if she knew they suspected her of it, she would stop talking and ask for a lawyer. Yeah, she thinks she's in complete control right now. For sure.
Kirsty searches her phone for the cloud-stored video feed from the camera system in her house. When detectives realize that she's pulling up video that could be used as evidence, they likely move over to monitor the situation to make sure nothing gets deleted. And nothing seems out of ordinary on the camera, but when Kirsty's phone dies, the detective leaves to get a charger for it.
I'm going to try, all right. We got to keep that charged? No.
While the detective is out of the room, Kirsty appears to be nothing shy of defeated. It's clear the questioning is not going her way, and it seems like it's taking a toll on her. When the detective turns with the charger, Kirsty asserts that she needs to go soon because of her kids.
It would. Is that the right one for it?
Yeah. Thanks.
Try to over yourself, Pete. You get charged up.
And I gotta sing for my kids.
While she's not under arrest,
I wonder if like the charger they gave her, if it somehow like secretly transfers data into the charging port or something. Like I know that might be some kind of CIA type stuff, but I wonder. It makes me wonder. Darlene says she wants to make it look like Fallon was injured at home before she came to her house, but they know better. Oh, they absolutely do. And she's a sick bitch. I'm sorry. Excuse my French.
she has been read her rights and detained, which means she's not free to leave at this time. The detective will continue to let her think she's there on her own free will for now, in order to keep Kirsty talking and let that phone charge. It's clear he thinks he's onto something.
Yeah. So, has she ever come to your house? Like, did you ever suspect it of them?
Look, I'm just saying, if they offered to charge my phone, I'm going to tell them, no, it's all right. I'll keep it, but thank you for the offer. Darlene says she put on a good show, but the camera shows what she really is. Yeah, I'm worried about that footage when they show it.
Like, I saw, just random bruises on her legs. See, the thing about Harper is that,
Kids get those things.
is exactly as I said. Harper would have them everywhere. If someone were to look, they'd be like, what? This kid is clumsy. You know what I mean?
I'm not worried about the ones on her legs or like on her elbows. It happens.
The head thing.
Well, that, and also she got bruises all in her abdomen where she bleeds.
How does that even happen?
Someone has to abuse that kid pretty hard.
That doesn't even make sense to me how that would even happen. Especially in the situation, like, first of all, she pretty much lives in my house. She doesn't sleep there, but she's there every single day. Never had any issues ever.
Fallon's mother claimed Kirsty watched the child for 3 days a week. At the start of the interview, Kirsty stated it was 3 to 4 days a week. Now she's upping the frequency to every day. I'm not
Yeah, that's weird to me. If she was only there 3 days a week, why are you saying every day? But again, you're a liar and a fucking monster, so maybe that's why.
Sure what Kirsty hopes to accomplish by doing this. I'm not sure she knows either, but either way, it's probably not helping her case.
No doubt.
But my thing is, and I can look here and you probably done this a million times or whatever, but I didn't touch her. I would never hurt her. Literally. I've given her, ask her mom, I just bought her a kitchen. I literally give her all Harper's clothes, all her hand-me-downs. I feed her, I bathe her every day. Her mom never has to do any of those things. I do all of it.
Yep.
Because I love her. And so like, you telling me this is basically like you telling me that I'm almost kind of like losing potentially, even though I'm not going to claim that like a chump.
I'm losing. Yeah, you're losing in this interrogation because they know what you did. And again, being that I know that there's damage to her private areas, and unfortunately, God forbid, but why is she giving the baby a bath every single time she babysits her too? Like if she did every single time, I would be concerned with that personally. Crime for herself, in my opinion.
Kirsty has not been accused of any crimes so far, but since the start of the interview, she's been desperately hell-bent on convincing the detective that she's nonviolent and would never hurt Fallon. Her constantly defending herself in this way is red flag city.
It's difficult. And I know sometimes it's easy just to lose your cool and things happen, and I get it. I just need to know.
But I would never lose my cool on that level. Never.
And Redacted said, amazing how humble she is now that she's in front of an adult. Yep. Absolutely. And defeated and yeah.
Lost my cool on that level. I don't even have that type of hatred in my heart.
I don't think it's a hatred thing. I think maybe things just get out of hand.
I mean, literally, the only thing I could think of, and this is like far-fetched, but I know Harper would have probably came and told me, unless they were, just playing and Harper just kind of played big sister and handled it herself or whatever. But, maybe Grace jumped on her. I don't know.
Grace is Kirsty's pit bull dog. She has so far attempted to potentially aim blame at Fallon's stepfather, a playground slide, possibly someone random at the park, and now finally, her dog.
And the only thing is that
she's not showing any emotion. So you're already in that's red flag number 15,000. And then you're blaming everybody else. Like, just stop it and admit what you did or ask for a lawyer. Yeah. Right, Trixie?
I could think of is that in the hallway, vinyl, it's vinyl, it's shit. The whole apartment is shit. I mean, you see how I'm under a whole court case with them because of how it's living and how dangerous it is. Because Fallon actually almost stepped on, there was a flipboard underneath the sink. She almost stepped on the nail. An old rusty ass nail. You know what I mean? And it's like, there's just stuff everywhere. But that's the only thing that I could think of would be where,
we can add Kirsty's allegedly dangerous apartment to the list of only things Kirsty can think of that may have harmed Fallon that day.
I mean, there was a little bit of a point where I closed my...
Like, do you really think they're believing you, ma'am? Trixie, I misunderstood your message, but if you're talking about the baby sitting on your face in school, and that is sweet. I couldn't quite comprehend what you were trying to say.
Or sometimes I close my door, because my kid she'll walk in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. You know what I mean? And yeah, I can admit to that.
Yeah, you can admit to that, but nothing else. She was talking about her own apartment and that she's suing the owners of the apartment. I hate to tell you this, but when you got that apartment, you signed a lease. Like, you ain't just going to sue them. You knew what the apartment was when you got it. Like, that's just ridiculous.
No, like,
About closing your door.
yeah, I could have made to closing my door today, yeah, for like at least an hour ish. You know what I mean?
Bruh, yamin.
Because Holden was asleep.
Is this before you went to the park?
Yes.
She's just admitted to basically neglecting a 2- and 4-year-old for an hour in her dangerous apartment while she closed her bedroom door and slept. It's not a great look for the self-proclaimed super nanny, but when the other detective confirms that this was before the visit to the park, Kirsty likely realizes this excuse won't fly either. She then begins hiding part of her face with the mask. This may be a self-soothing technique to hide her rising nerves.
Well, it might
So
not.
I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know.
My concern is you're the only one that was with them all day.
Yep.
And these injuries happen. And we're saying we have no idea how they happened.
Like, if I could, okay. If I could give you an answer right now that would just solve the problem, I would, but I don't have an answer for you. The only two things I could think of is falling on cement.
Which,
I don't know. Does she seem like the person that would do those horrible things? I know you meant squealing. I think we all did. Thank you for correcting it though, babe. Dog fights. Yeah, I don't like that. I was watching a series on Amazon and it had that in it, and I can't stand that. Them poor dogs.
which we didn't see happen.
Which we didn't see happen. Grace, but that,
Which we didn't see happen.
which we didn't see happen
Did
either.
you hear her cry out at all today?
I mean, I'll hear, Fallon is the most quiet thing you'll ever, ask her mom. That kid doesn't cry.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's not even a,
That tells me how happy Fallon was, how loved she was, how spoiled she was, how held, loved she was, like loved on, like for a baby not to cry and stuff like that. It just tells me that she was very well taken care of, that she was quiet. Well, I just feel like in seeing the pictures and the videos and things, you can tell that she was very much loved.
my kid, you would hear from miles away if someone's brushing her hair.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a big difference.
Gotcha. All right. Give me a minute.
Okay.
Boom. Out of chat.
So anything, are you good on your, you good on the drink right now? So,
Yeah,
anything else?
good. But I need to get my kids, but
All
yeah.
right, well, just hang tight for 1 second. We'll see where we're at.
All right, thanks.
It feels odd to me that detectives left Kirsty in the room alone with her phone that may have evidence on it. They may not have the right to take it from her yet, but I feel like
And they're leading her to believe that she can leave after they've already told her she's under arrest and read her Miranda rights. Like, again, I mean, this is just an ignorant woman.
the right thing to do would be to monitor her while she's detained and in possession of the device, but that's just my opinion. It's possible they were still under the assumption that the phone was charging. Either way, with the detectives out of the room, Kirsty is frantically texting someone. When the detectives return, Kirsty finds a spot in the video feed from the cameras in her house that shows Fallon at about 7:56 p.m. She seems to think this supports that what she's been telling the detectives is true, but in reality, it just further serves to vindicate Fallon's parents or a possible stranger at the park. It also brings Kirsty's playground slide theory into question.
Okay, is it charged up?
A little bit.
Can you see if you can pull up the camera again?
She's saying she wants me to come back and get the kids, so I have to go soon.
This is from Wise, W-Y. This is weird.
See, he didn't even feed into it. He just changed the subject real quick because he knows that she ain't leaving. He didn't even give her that false hope. Bad girl said not 1 ounce of emotion in this evil bitch. Yep. She seems to be very happy in the video clips. Yeah, she does. The baby, she was really happy. And that sounds horrible, lovely Abellis.
Now, does it download the video to the SD card, or does it just go up to the cloud, like the app?
Fran?
The video for the camera.
Sorry, I just saw something out here.
She's been so rude. Ma'am. Like, you can see he's frustrated.
You see?
The pyramids.
How can I get a copy of the video?
That's holding. Right there.
Okay.
In the little jumper. That's Fallon. Looks like right there.
Where's Fallon at?
Someone just gave him a kiss. Let's go to the lows. There we go. Where should go? There, thank God. Can you see her being normal?
Ocean?
Did you just see that?
Go back.
Ghost.
No, I think it's just his fault.
No, it was ghost.
It was a flyer mob or
It
something.
was okay.
This bitch is talking about it's a ghost. There's a child that's dying in the hospital, and you're over here talking about ghost on your home video footage. I can't. This is one dumb bitch. I'm sorry. Excuse my French. She is vile. Right, Abellis?
Set your dog right there, right?
Let's let this play. Because that's a good time for him. Here in
What
the
time is that, roughly?
7:42. There's me.
And here she is.
Making plates. Yep, see, I told you. Oh, as well, I'm telling you. It's mind blowing. Look at her.
What time you showing there?
This is 1956:25. What is
Okay,
that?
so almost 8 o'clock.
Jenny said thank you to Abellis. Abellis said a ghost. Oh my freaking God. Abellis says, I can attest that's not French. Oui. Redacted said she thinks she's so smart. Yep.
Military time.
Whatever happened to Fallon clearly occurred after 7:56 p.m. on the night of December 9th.
See? Try it again. She wouldn't do it. Took her back again. See, it's resilient. Like, I tried. That should show you right there how much I care about this kid. Like, I don't want you to go to bed hungry. Because she just, I don't know how her mom does it at their house. If they don't feed, I don't get it. I don't get if they just give them candy and chips. But so I tried again. And then that's when I went to the back, I guess. I think that's when my dogs decided it was free game. Fallon's right there. That's when me and him both went to the back to check on her. Because I was like, she's looking kind of weird. She's not eating. She's, you know what I mean? And then he suggested I suggested the bathroom real fast. And then I got her in a Milwaukee towel, and I literally just rocked her and rocked her and rocked her and rocked her. And then I started freaking out. My mother
and rocked her after you put her in the shower and didn't even call 911.
Started kicking in. I was like, something's not right. so he's all right. You know what I mean? And then that's when we called the
God.
ambulance.
Kirsty
If she says, you know, yeah, I mean, one more time, I'm going to reach through that screen and smack her.
goes on to explain that she tried to get Fallon to eat several times and she wouldn't. She also tells detectives that Fallon's mother had been on FaceTime to Fallon until Kirsty's phone died. Right after that, Chris called Jeffrey's phone. This was all after 8:10 p.m. The 911 call was placed at 8:59 p.m. It's sad to think that Kristen Fridley may have just spoken to her daughter right before things got really bad.
You don't think that she was like, I don't know, I'm just trying to think about like different scenarios maybe, that she was laying there for a little bit and like Gary stepped on her?
I don't think a dog stepping on him would fracture her skull.
Don't either.
He's looking directly into her eyes like, you need to go on ahead and tell the truth. Redacted said this heifer trying to blame the parents. She is. I got this for you. And it's all, this is how I feel about it.
Yeah. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Her whole entire story, her whole entire existence that day is just a bunch of bullshit. Babysitter's pissing me off. I wish she never even existed that day.
I could see like the pressure. You know what I mean?
But-
Scratches and
But there's not really any scratches on her abdomen.
accepting what I'm saying. So they're supposed to cancel it out thing too.
And there's, I think for the dog to fracture her skull, I think that's,
No, when you say acute, you know, what does that mean?
they happened recently.
What is reselling?
Did you hear the way she just said that? Like, yeah, this woman is high. Listen to how she says, now when you say acute, you know what I mean? Like, listen to how she says it. Hey, AM. Listen to how she says this.
You know what I mean?
But-
Scratches and
But there's not really any scratches on her abdomen.
accepting what I'm saying. So they're supposed to cancel it out thing too.
And there's,
Right here.
I think for the dog to fracture her skull, I think that's,
No, when you say acute,
Right here.
you know, what does that mean?
they happened recently.
What is reselling?
That sounds to me like she is on cloud nine. She's Lucy in the sky with diamonds right now. Probably not that drug, but you know what I mean. I don't see AM. Why don't I see AM? I don't see who AM is. But hi, whoever AM is. I don't know where or how the mother gets the strength. I don't either. I mean, again, even going to court with this woman, I'd have beat her ass in court.
Like today.
So it could have been this morning.
Like how early this morning do you think?
Before she came to my house.
It's almost painful to watch Kirsty grasp at any straw she can find to explain what happened to Fallon. Either her or Jeff are the most likely people to hold the answers to the questions everyone's asking.
She goes, yeah.
I was doing what? Can I see your wise thing one more time?
Yeah.
There's
I really gotta go.
Oh,
My neighbor's texting me over and over again.
no, I understand. Well, guys,
thank you. Hey, AM. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys for telling me where it was.
sorry before you get going, because this was that's what we're trying to,
Yeah.
because this is going to help. So is this right here beforehand?
The other detective appears back in the room again, and this time he's accompanied by a third female officer who just so happens to have the same camera system Kirsty does. While they may not have seen exactly what they were looking for on the camera's recorded feed before, this time they're searching for something that can paint a better picture of what happened to Fallon, something that can't be seen on camera.
Is there a way to get a link for the video?
I haven't tried that. You can just share right here. You can share the camera and add new users, which I don't think is quite the same thing. It's app based. I don't have access to the website, so you kind of.
It's pretty cool though.
Yeah, it's a good camera. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I've had
Can
it
you
for a few years.
can you see if you can get the sound to it now?
Yeah,
What's the, just
Well, she said it knows what I know for the sound in the bottom left, but it's got bumpers. Sometimes there's.
Bad girl says this bitch really thinks she's going home. She absolutely does. Only God can get us through. I know we heard the mother talking about it afterwards in the beginning, and I can't imagine the pain she deals with. And again, please keep her and all of the victims in your prayers. Hey, Pinto, you don't. I sometimes I forget that you're here because you don't talk much. So I wanted to say thank you for that, for talking and letting me know you were still here. It is.
It's there. That's 5 days. Yeah, it's $30.
But say we want to get a copy of the video from today.
Well, I'm gonna get back to you on that. Give me a second to kind of.
Do you know what
play
your
around.
hours of calification is? Like you usually or whatever?
I would have to get that for now. Here, I just showed you the full video.
Yeah. But
I don't want you accessing then that way you could like literally watch me at any time.
Well, all I want is from the time, like from 6 a.m. until.
I just showed you the whole thing.
Well,
No, you didn't, bitch. And they want to see the part that you don't want them to see, the part that you're worried about them seeing right now. That's why you won't give them access to it, because you know what's on there. Abella said, bad girl, they don't all. They're so stupid. She told the detective she has to go. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Or LOL, what the fuck? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I hope everything's going good, Pinto.
We saw part of it when we're scrolling through. It's choppy because we're not actually being able to watch the whole thing. You hear what I'm saying?
We just did this.
We did, and when we stopped scrolling for dinner time, it went by itself, and it showed us. We actually saw the video playing.
Detectives.
You're so stupid if you don't think they're going to pull a search warrant and are probably getting one as you're speaking to them and pull that. Like you might as well give it to them at this point.
Want a copy of the stored video recording, and they also want to enable the sound just in case they're missing something. Obviously, if they could hear what occurred, it might give them some insight. But Kirsty doesn't like this and seems to feign willful ignorance as to why the information would be needed. A totally innocent person would likely easily cooperate with law enforcement in this scenario because they'd have nothing to hide. Kirsty eventually agrees to email the full video to detectives once she gets home.
And I hate to say like anything against Cameron, but like, you're a father, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. If you're wiping some random kids, Tata, and they go, Dada.
Would you think that's weird?
What? So she is trying to blame the essay on the dad. She just said, you're a father, right? And he said, uh-huh. And she was like, if you're wiping some random kid's tata, which is the front butt, and they say dada, would you think it was weird? Oh my God. Like she's trying to put the essay that she's been doing onto the parents now or the stepdad because she's got hostility for them. She does seem to be a spoiled, lazy brat, redacted. And I don't like her at all. Bring me a food plate, please. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, bad girl. That's what I said. Listen again. This bitch right here. Sorry, I don't mean to cuss, but this is pissing me off. We're going to go back to 112. We'll go right here. Listen to what this bitch says.
If they could hear what occurred, it might give them some insight. But Kirsty doesn't like this and seems to feign willful ignorance as to why the information would be needed. A totally innocent person would likely easily cooperate with law enforcement in this scenario because they'd have nothing to hide. Kirsty eventually agrees to email the full video to detectives once she gets home.
And I hate to say like anything against Cameron, but like,
listen.
You're a father, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. If you're wiping some random kids talk, and they go, that guy. Would you think that's weird? Okay. She does it all the time. Just one like, I've even like literally gone like this. Like
She said, that's why I'm like, and then she said, I've literally even gone like this, and she's making a pushing motion, like you're pressing down with your pointer finger. Yeah, this is about to get triggering. Thank you, Jenny. Redacted said she's been hinting the whole time. She has. She's trying everything she could think of to get her out of this. Yeah, she is. She knows that they're going to find out about it. This bitch right here. Lord, thank you for forgiving me for that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be cussing, but goodness.
Like you like when your pelvic bone right there, just to kind of like see, like she's like, oh, from pressure.
So today, did she wear a diaper or is she potty trained?
Yeah, he's like, we're changing the subject.
She wears diapers.
Okay.
I buy all of her diapers.
So when you changed her today,
Mhm.
did you notice any kind of bruising down there at all?
No.
Kirsty keeps on talking to detectives about how good she is to Fallon and how much she does for her before going back to the topic of Fallon's stepfather, Cameron. This is a recurring theme in both Kirsty Flood and her partner Jeffrey Meyer's interrogations. Kirsty alleges that Cameron did time for child abuse, specifically rape or molestation, and she claims Chris's family made public Facebook posts specifically about this. In a later interview with police, Kirsty alleges that Chris denied the allegations, said they were misunderstandings, and had her family remove the posts. Now, this wouldn't be the disturbing truth if I didn't consider the information and do some digging. I did find old charges unrelated to anything Kirsty asserts. I also found a recent charge against Cameron.
So this is the stepdad's charges that Mr. Black has found.
Cameron Gant from March 29th of 2023 for violation of a family violence order. Apparently, there was a temporary protection order, or TPO, issued against Cameron Gant for Kristen's sake. He allegedly broke this in a non-violent way by canceling her phone. I'm not exactly sure why the TPO was issued in the first place, but I do know Chris and Cameron are no longer together. While Kirsty's claims are concerning,
That's interesting.
She has so far been caught in several lies and changed her story multiple times in her interviews. Her boyfriend Jeff does the same thing throughout his interrogation with detectives. Also, the fact remains that Cameron was nowhere near Fallon during the time when the damage occurred. I can't demonize Cameron Gant on charges, most of which happened 10 to 15 years ago, that do not in any way correlate with Kirsty's claims or the injuries that Fallon sustained while in her care. Kirsty's lies and her attempts to redirect suspicion aimed at her, at Cameron, still aren't working. Whether or not Cameron Gant is a good person is not something I can conclude, but I can conclude that he didn't kill Fallon.
Who said he has a child abuse past?
She did.
Okay.
She knows. The whole
What about a child abuse past?
Patients. I'm not sure if it was an aggravation or not, but I know he did some time.
But, I mean, they would already have that information. Do you not realize you're talking to the police? Like, you think they don't have that info? So this was all her. Yeah, and they figured it out because she had done it to her own children.
You wonder when you do things like that, you don't normally. It's kind of like one of those things. It's either in you or it's not. And
After talking about Kirsty's allegations towards Fallon's stepfather, she asks when they will know an update on Fallon's condition. It's at this point in the interview that things really heat up.
Oh, uh-oh. Bad girl said, how could a mother do that to another mother's child, for fuck's sake? Sorry, I'm cussing again, but I can't with this bitch. How could a mother do that, period? Like, most of the time it's not women who are predators like that. You see, like, the thing with the teachers and the young high school boys, but I can't even recall a case where a mother did what, like, to little babies. I mean, this woman here is on a whole nother level.
when do we know? Like when?
I don't I don't know how long it's going to take for her to come out, or if she doesn't come. I don't know. They're doing everything they can to help her.
They can say babies out of the NICU.
They sure can.
They're premature with nothing.
They can. She has suffered a lot of damage for them. She has suffered a lot of damage. And these are doctors in CHOA that specialize in kids. And they're telling me she has
Those will go up.
fractured skull, brain bleed, swollen brain, injured liver.
Sorry.
Thank you, Israel.
Was I asked which one was your apartment key so that we can look it up for you?
Oh, we're ready to go home, right?
I don't know right now. And he.
Yeah, they already told you were under arrest, and she's like, like she doesn't know what to say. But she just said a minute ago, I think I'm gonna throw up. She's gonna throw up because she knows her ass is caught. I want to throw up listening to her.
And here's and
knowing
why
what she did.
we're still here is because she has all these injuries. And the person she was with today is you. And I need to know, and I need to find out how she got all these injuries. And I get we're watching the video.
Look at the look of, you're not believing my bullshit story? I'm caught. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. You don't believe my lies.
Is what makes everything confusing. Because these injuries just didn't happen out of nowhere. These injuries happened somehow. You're the only person that was with her all day.
That's not even fair.
That's not even
You
fair.
cannot pin that on me.
I'm not pinning anything on anyone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what happened.
That's not even fair. What's not even fair is what you did to this child. What's not even fair is the lifelong suffering the mother has to go through now. What's not even fair is that you tortured not only her, but your own children too. Nothing about this has ever been fair, ma'am.
Wow. I have children, I have dogs, I have a whole life.
I
No doubt. So did
No, I don't think you do.
I do.
She's about to take my car and my keys.
No, she's not taking your car.
Where is she going with my stuff?
She came to get the key to lock up the house.
Why?
Because we served a search warrant at your house.
For what?
Because it's a high possibility this child was injured at your home.
And you didn't find anything, did you?
I don't know. I'm not there.
Wow.
But you have to look at it. What if you were in my shoes?
I can't even
what
believe
would
you right
think?
now. You really just flipped the table.
If
That's
you
what
were-
y'all do, don't you?
If you were in my shoes, what would you think?
I'm not under arrest.
Right now you're detained.
I'm not under arrest.
Right now you're detained.
Well, I'm about to call a lawyer then if you're going to play this game.
Okay, you're calling a lawyer?
You're not going to keep me here. I have children I have to go take care of. You understand
Right now
that?
you are detained.
I have children.
I understand that.
Where's Jeff?
He's over there.
Ma'am, do you not realize that most of the, probably at least 60 to 80% of women in prison have children? Like, you think that they're just, you just committed murder, but you have kids that you have to go take care of. So, just go on ahead home. It's okay. She's mad about that search warrant. You have a life, but Fallon doesn't. Right, Abellis, exactly. Because you are about to go to hell. Soon as those bars lock. Yep, redacted. She thought she talked herself out of this. She did, bad girl. She thought she was right on top and controlling this whole situation. Live children, unlike Fallon, says Abellis. Hey, Britt, thank you for being here. Oh, Britt says, I went to school with that girl. She's evil. Really? We've been calling her a spoiled brat this whole time. She seems that way. Wow. That's interesting, Britt. Thank you for being here. Now she wants to play I'm a mother card. What the fuck? Yeah, like not like 60 to probably 80% of women in prison don't have children. Stop. Yeah, Britt, that's crazy. She was known for fighting and being violent. Yeah, they were talking in the beginning how she had charges from an assault, but it wasn't on children. I'm sorry, Britt. They're talking about like she's abusing these children private areas too, so I just want to warn you in case you didn't know that. Britt says she was younger than me but had a reputation. Oh my goodness. Oh, you're welcome, Britt. And then Zio says, thank you for the insight. I'm so glad you're here. How did you find us today? Yeah, thank you for being here. You can come on panel if you want, but you don't have to.
He's in the other room.
So what are you saying?
I'm trying to figure out who hurt this child.
Neither of us hurt this child. Maybe you should go.
How did this child get injured then?
I don't know how
she was with
injured. You
all
just
day.
saw videos of her running around and fine. What else
And
do
I
you
get
need?
that that video doesn't show the whole other part of the house.
Right?
Why else? Okay, if she's so injured, why would she be running around like that? Have you ever thought about that? An acute injury? Don't you think she would be laying down?
So you tell me.
If she was hurt.
Like she was when you say you picked her up and was limp and you put her in a damn bathtub instead of calling the police, that kind of limp. Britt said, haha, I love your channel. I've been subscribed. Oh, really? Just happened to catch this live. Well, thank you. She said, I don't know much else. Thank you for being here. I had no idea. Thank you so much. Zio's so happy you're here. I think we all are. Britt said, this was crazy though when it happened. I couldn't imagine like seeing somebody that you actually knew being arrested for such horrendous crimes. She is a whiny ass. She is a whiny ass. Oh yeah, Abella said that you can come up, but I think she says she don't know much else. But again, if anybody wants to come on panel, just let me know and I'll drop a link. No pressure.
Wouldn't you be laying down?
What could have happened when you took her off screen?
So you think I took her off screen, went and beat her?
I don't know. I need to know.
Broke her skull.
She's got a fractured skull.
Bled her inside.
And she might not make it through the night.
And then brought her back out to feed her. And everybody else was just running around fine. Does that make sense to you?
Crazy things have happened. I know what is going on in this child's body right now. And it doesn't just happen out of it. You're saying that she got to your house, she was fine this morning.
It was 6 o'clock in the morning. And this is exactly what happened. We don't sleep because we have a newborn.
I understand.
He leaves at 6 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning. He's gone. I lay her down with Harper half the time. They go to bed. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I try and catch some more sleep while I can with Holden. So I was sleeping in with Holden. She was in the room with Harper.
Baby girl said, okay, Sarah, right? Abella said, poor baby. Darlene said, wow, Britt, really? Yeah, it's crazy. Poor Fallon suffered. She did. I can't believe this woman's got anger problems for sure.
They played.
Did Harper tell you anything about the dog doing anything?
I can ask Harper.
But she is making statements like, oh, dog did this all throughout the day.
Harper was in there for so long with her.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you don't understand. They were playing all day in there. I even have a text message that said they were playing all day. Now we're about to go to the park.
Yeah.
I said, in her room, they were playing all day. Did I not? Why would I say that? What? Come on, man. Don't do this to me. Don't ruin my life.
I'm not ruining your life.
No, you're on the cusp.
Bitch, you ruined your own life in so many ways. Redacted said, I assume the parents didn't know her past. I don't know. They might have because they were friends with her. But I mean, beating up a person you're having an argument with is way different than touching little kids and beating on them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know necessarily that I would hold it against somebody that they got into arguments and fights with somebody in the past. If I saw that they had an anger issue, I'd have a problem with it. But I wouldn't necessarily think that, just having fights with somebody or even an assault charge, like because you got into a physical altercation with another adult in your past would make really a big deal to me. But children, I mean, if I see that you have an active anger issue or you've hurt some other children, I'm damn sure going to have a problem with it. Darlene said the nerve of her saying she has children. Fallon's mom doesn't have her baby anymore. Right? I'm at the 1:21:40 minute mark right now. And Britt said, well, Fallon's mother looked up Christy because they were both in. Oh, Fallon's mother looked up to Christy because they were both in recovery. Oh, wow. Yeah, that makes sense. She said Christy only had Fallon 3 days a week. She lies so much in this interview. Oh, wow. That's crazy. And Brittany said that, or Britt said she totally took advantage of the situation. Wow. And Zio had said, yeah, it said that she helped her out during an addiction and recovery time. Yeah, they said that in the beginning of this, but wow.
I'm trying to figure out what happened with this baby. I understand that.
So
No.
I'm trying to figure out what happened with this baby.
So was Christy before you took her child.
I did not do anything to that little girl. And you are not about to ruin my life over that.
You did.
I'm in the midst of getting my entire record cleared from 2000, back in the day, 2010.
Okay.
I have busted my ass in life to get to where I'm at right now.
Okay.
And I have helped her mother, and I've been there for her, and I've done all of this, and you're going to sit here and you're going to tell me, do you think I hurt this little girl?
I don't know what happened with this little girl. I just know she was with you, and now she's injured to the point where she might not make it.
We were also at a playground. They were also in the room. Do you understand that things happen in little girls that don't cry and don't talk, don't say anything? Do you understand
the massive amount of trauma that this child has sustained internal?
Would mean what?
That she was hurt really bad.
How?
You tell me. I wasn't there.
How would do you see bruises
on the baby?
Yes.
Well, yeah. They've been saying that the whole interview, you stupid woman, you. Britt said Fallon will not be forgotten. Yeah, you're close to this case. I always say to remember the victims in this. And I appreciate you saying that. I know your community remembers this case, and it's unfortunately really sad. She was such a beautiful little girl, and they showed lots of pictures and videos of her in this interview, which I really was appreciative of. Abella said, I think that she resented Fallon's family for whatever reason, plus being an aggressive witch, right? Bad girl, she's trying to play the victim. Fallon is the innocent victim. Absolutely. Well, next time oh, goodness. Yeah, no doubt, Zio, though. She can't even say her name. She can't.
Yes. I only saw that and that. Where did you see them? Where are the pictures?
You can tell by the way she's acting, too. She would be a hard person to just be around, in my opinion.
All over her head.
You want to see the picture of the baby?
All over her head.
Yeah, all over her head, bitch.
No, I don't. This is going to make me sad.
Are you sure? Because I can show you.
Because you know you did it.
Do you want to see?
Yeah, go ahead.
Those weren't in your photo.
Because blood.
That is not blood. That's a fresh bruise.
Those blood clots. Those are blood clots, and you're not a doctor.
Number one, regardless of whether it's a bruise or blood clots, why are they there? Why is she like it's blood clot? I mean, is that not just as bad, if not worse? Like, excuse me?
Just to let you know. Exactly what she had. Exactly what she had in that picture. And the only thing that she had in that picture.
But what she didn't have in that picture is right there in the middle of her forehead.
Blood.
That's not blood. That's a bruise.
What do you think?
That's a bruise.
Okay,
look at her nose. So let's look at that. Look at her nose. Look at her forehead. All right? That is your picture.
Right.
Right? From today. That's from today.
Right. Right.
I don't see those bruises.
That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. The blood.
So there's no bruises.
So you're telling me there's no bruise right there?
That one we saw, yeah. But look in the middle of her forehead. Look at her nose. There's nothing there.
You can't see that there's a hair right there.
There's nothing there. There's nothing there.
You were just agreeing with him that she didn't have those bruises, and now you're like, you can't tell because it's her hair's covering it. Like, you're telling on your own self. She's a horrible liar. Yeah. Y'all are all saying, and neither are you. She's not a doctor either, loser. Right? Bad Girl said as if she doesn't already know the horror poor Fallon went through. Right. And she just doesn't care. She's going to carry on, not even admitting to shit. Like, she doesn't care about what she did to that baby. Her reaction is crazy, said Britt. The detective is like, hello. Right. Redacted says, spoiled, lazy, know-it-all. She knows more than the detective. And she acts like she does. She thought she was in control this whole time. She's starting to lose it. She's feeling that she's losing control. She's getting angry. She's thinking that she can still talk her way out of going to jail during this interview. Like, you can tell she was able to talk her way out of things a lot, or she fought, in my opinion. Bad Girl said you can tell that she's used to talking her way out of BS. Right, exactly. And then Pinto said she only cares about herself. Yep. Like I said,
I'm not making this up.
Like I said, I've never ever heard of a woman sexually abusing a child. Like, you've heard about the teachers with the kids and stuff, and I'm sure there's cases out there, but a mother touching her own child, like, I've never heard of that. Like, what kind of messed up do you have to be to do things like that?
She fell off a slide at the playground after that too.
And you said she landed on her back.
You're trying to pull this out of.
But how did she land?
On her back.
So how would that put bruises on her forehead?
You know what else she was doing? Let me go ahead and show you what else she was doing. Since you think this is like some, I don't know what you're trying to do to me, but this is like literally.
I'm trying to get to the bottom of what happened with this child.
Well, those right there, they bounce.
Mm-hmm.
There's a metal bar right there too. You ever thought about that?
Okay, did you see that happen?
Do you know that accidents happen all the time?
I do, because I have 4 kids.
Exactly.
She's getting loud. She's like showing him other pictures of things on the playground. Like, did you ever think about maybe that happened? Well, no, ma'am, because you didn't say that's what happened. You've already recounted for the day and everything that happened to the park and you never mentioned that. Like, just stop. She looks stupid. She really does. Is it more common than I think, Redacted? I surely hope not. Abella said, these types amaze me. I'd be confessing in the first seconds, even if I was innocent. How these creeps can keep lying blows my mind. They can't, because they think they're in control of the situation, and that they've been so used to lying and getting away with things their whole lives. They think they're good at it, and they can fool everybody. Have you thought about that? She did say that a lot, didn't she, Redacted? It's getting annoying. She told on herself big time, said Britt. She absolutely did. And then Abella said, it's not just the look. She is stupid. She is.
Exactly my point. Then cut me some
And then I
slack.
also know that this injury that doesn't happen. Just
Did you cut Fallon any slack, ma'am? No, you didn't. You deserve none either. Indie Girl said, for real, y'all, who's she yelling at? Right? I say that to my kids. They'll yell about something, and I'll be like, who you yelling at? You got the wrong one.
appear out of nowhere.
Exactly why my 2 kids are 100% healthy. Have you ever thought about that? You ever thought about that?
Yeah, I've thought about it.
Okay. Then think about it a little bit harder.
But maybe you need to think about
Yeah, again, at this point, I'd be like, bitch, who are you yelling at? Because it ain't fucking me. Like, what the fuck? Britt said, I truly think she was babysitting for the cash she was getting and resented Fallon's mother. She was getting $125 a week. Yeah, she said that. She resented the way she parented her. She resented the food she gave her. She resented so many things about that woman. Like jealousy is what it seems like to me. I think, yep, see, I think she was jealous of Fallon's mom because she had her ish together more than her. Yeah, she definitely seems jealous of Fallon's mom, like deeply jealous.
you're the only person with her, and she's injured like this.
I did not hurt that little girl.
What's that?
You want to talk to her?
Yeah, I was just getting a couple things down.
I need to go get my children.
Okay, just give it a second. We're actually getting one other thing. We're running something through.
He's like, this bitch yelling at me. I got to get out of here. I'm about to swing. Bada.
And we'll let you know in just a second. And get you
Let us know. Let us know.
That's what I tried to do, but I hear you yelling, so I'm coming back here.
Because he's being ridiculous.
As Kirsty's temper rises, the detectives swap for questioning. This is likely so that the detective who was confrontational with Kirsty can leave the room and allow the other detective to de-escalate the conversation before Kirsty asks for a lawyer officially. The detective does this successfully by assuring Kirsty that they want to get things wrapped up shortly before leaving the room. The second detective wants Kirsty to give him her theory on what happened to Fallon.
What's your theory? That's what I'm asking you. What makes, how did this?
Yeah, I wouldn't have been that calm. Abella said, that little girl, yeah, she can't say Fallon's name. She is a vile bitch. She really is. She cannot say Fallon's name.
Child sustained these injuries?
The only thing I could think of, like I told him, is falling.
At the playground?
No, not at the playground. Other than literally.
Baby girl said, I'm waiting for it was unintentional and talking both sides of the coin. I don't understand exactly what you mean. Tell me what you mean, please.
Literally walking on the cement, holding Harper's hand while I'm carrying a car seat, walking out to my car and like tripping because this baby doesn't cry. Like I told him 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't cry. She just gets back up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So Harper pulling her, because Harper is 4, doesn't realize it, pulling her, she could fall.
Where's this at?
Boom!
Is this...
Morgan Falls.
Okay, fair enough.
The sidewalk walking all, and I parked way over the side.
So this is going on the sidewalk?
Yes.
I got you. So she's fallen down onto the concrete there, and your 4-year-old doesn't know any better. She's just kind of
picking her back up and keeping it moving. That's what she's
picking her back up and keeping it moving. Like, Britt said, Fallon's mom did a podcast interview. I can't remember the name. It's so good if you find it. I'll look for it. I'll look it up.
falling down. Does this happen over and over, I guess?
Fallon falls all the time.
Okay. I mean, that's why I'm asking you. I wasn't there.
Her mom. Ask her mom. That kid falls.
That's what I'm asking you. So during that time, she kept falling down, kept falling down, kept falling?
It wasn't like she just repeatedly kept falling down.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. I got distracted for a second. I would love to see the podcast too. I didn't know they went on Dr. Phil. Indie Girl said, I don't think he should have yelled at her yelled at him like that. Fucking ridiculous. Yeah, I don't think that she should have yelled at him. Like I said, I don't care if I'm a cop or not. I'm gonna be like, look, you need to stop yelling at me. This ain't gonna work. Yeah, that child will fall and not cry. What did we hear about that? I think didn't they say Quentin did that, or he would fall and cry and she wouldn't pay attention. Leilani wouldn't give him no attention or anything, and it got to the point to where he wouldn't even cry when he fell and like really got hurt anymore. So sad. Redacted said, doesn't she have a sick fetish hurting children? I read that or either heard it somewhere. It seems like she does for sure.
Anything significant? Did she fall off a curb and hit her head? I mean, or anything like that you know?
Well, you fall on cement, then that could be
Well,
anything.
even kids have the innate ability to like kind of throw their arms and use it as. What I'm saying is that's why I'm asking. I wasn't there. So
If you slip on vinyl, there's concrete underneath it, right?
Understand?
Okay. So there's
It's
also
usually
that,
carports. I guess that's what I'm asking. Saying a parking lot doesn't even have a vinyl cover, so
I'm talking about inside my apartment.
Oh, very good. Okay, so
I'm talking about all the possibilities because you're asking me for all of this.
Well, I mean, but I'm being specific. You're saying that she had fallen down in the parking lot and your kid, and that's okay. But that's what I'm asking. It's like, did she do so?
Parking lot?
Yeah, at Morgan Falls. That's what I understood you to tell me.
And the side.
He's trying to play good cop. She's getting the detective straight. Yeah, he's trying to play good cop. She makes up bullshit scenarios. She does.
Okay, anywhere we go, Harper wants to hold her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday we went to the playground. She wants to hold her hand.
Right.
They always hold hands. So she, will walk with her and hold her hand or whatever. And a lot of the times Fallon will fall.
Okay, that's fine.
A lot of the times. Please. My daughter busted
And what
both
I'm
of her
asking you is
knees.
like, again, because of the seriousness of her injuries today, when you were watching the kid, was there anything was like, ooh, I mean, like I'm probably a substandard dad, but like I'm scared enough of damn kids that I would watch them. I wouldn't have like alone time or anything. Meaning I would never shut my door because I'm afraid of what they do to harm themselves. So if they play around,
especially toddlers, and like you're going in for at least an hour, you said, to take a nap. Like if they're not resting with you, then you don't need to be resting.
And my two sons, and they do, and one goes running and clips a corner. I know I'm like, oh God, and sure enough, they get bruised up, and I get all that. But I'm saying,
Okay,
did anything stand out to you?
To maybe not being the best.
I'm not
today
saying
because
that,
of my son and me closing the door because of napping. But if
today, ma'am, every day of your life, from what I've heard,
she fell, then how am I supposed to know that?
How are you supposed to know if she falls?
This is the thing.
How is the babysitter supposed to know if the baby falls and gets hurt, y'all? Why on earth would it be logical for a babysitter to know if a child fell? I guess I'm just living in a different universe or something to think that the babysitter would know if the child had a serious fall. This woman here, like I said earlier, when it came to common sense, God gave her none.
The baby doesn't cry. She doesn't cry. Mm-hmm. She's one of those kids that's just real quiet, which is another alarming sign. Very alarming sign from the home life. Okay. Very, very quiet, doesn't cry, doesn't say much, just always smiling, always happy, the sweetest little thing ever.
Yeah.
So let's say she did fall, she wouldn't say anything. That's what I'm saying. Half the time she doesn't say anything. It's almost like she gets in trouble at home for maybe saying if she did. I don't know. But she doesn't say anything. My daughter is so dramatic.
I wonder why. Abella said, redacted, she's like Sarah saying that George fell off bikes and was notorious for walking into walls. They're both morons. And redacted agrees 100%. Yep, I do too.
The whole world will hear about it.
All right.
This kid will fall and get up and keep it moving. This kid will get knocked over by my 60-pound pit and get up and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Harper gets knocked over by my pit and is a whole ordeal. You know what I mean?
They're looking into as far as they trying to figure out exactly what the injuries and where they were caused, obviously. I mean, you do understand that, right? We didn't just kind of wake up today looking to pick on you. We're trying to figure out how a 2-year-old who really can't speak for herself got injuries by default because that's what you do.
I really think that this child would fall and not cry. If that's the case, was it because the babysitter ignored her? I know the mother didn't, judging by the pictures and videos we've seen. That mother adored that baby. Redacted says she acts like they're playing football. She does.
you care for her throughout the day. That's why we're asking you this. It's not to anger you or to push you in a corner or we got to.
They told me I'm not like, when you tell me that I might not get my keys back and I might not be able to get my kid, like, you're basically telling me.
Well, right now we're having to investigate.
Yep, Abella said, oh my God, she blames the parents. It's like, say it, quote, it's like she gets punished at home for crying. I think you ignore her when she cries, and she learned not to cry anymore because of you, ma'am. I don't think the parents had a damn thing to do with it.
This case. We can't just, there's things we have to do before we do.
I have neighbors watching my children. You guys just did a search warrant on my house.
Yes, that's correct.
You did, and you didn't find anything to do anything.
Well, you got to wait it out for a second. What I'm telling you is we have to explore all avenues. I'm not gonna lie to you.
What are you waiting on?
I'm gonna check here in just a second, and then I'll see what the plans are moving forward. But this should be.
He's waiting on the judge to sign the warrant. Indie Girl said, "Yeah, it's bad, Abella. She's fucking unhinged, and she is." Redacted said he's basically telling you you're going to jail. They've been trying to. I think Fallon didn't cry. She's lying, monster. She is a monster.
She wrapping up your relatives.
Wait, I'm so confused. What do you mean you're gonna check?
Well, you check with the lead investigator because I'm not the lead investigator, so I can't tell you exactly what's going on with this because but I guess the best way I can describe it to you.
Do you know like how long?
I mean, again, I was going to go check with the lead investigator.
Okay, yeah.
That's
Once Kirsty is alone, she calls her mother on the phone.
I can't even believe this. No, I'm not okay. They're trying to fuck me up. Yes. He's in their room. They're trying to fuck my life up. They're trying to.
Ma'am, you did that all by yourself. You are the one who messed your life up. The person saying one thing sounds in line at that moment, then changes it the next moment because it sounds right. Sarah did that a lot. It's hard to explain, and I forgot the exact quote that explains it. Okay. Yeah, she's saying one thing and then she changes it the next minute to fit whatever narrative she needs them to believe because she still thinks she can talk her way out of this. She was asleep in the bedroom with the door closed. She was redacted with toddlers running around. Like, what? She's using, in my opinion, among other things. She's just a sick person.
My life up. I'm like, so can I go? Can I get my keys? Can I go get my kids? Can I go do this? He's like, we'll let you know in a minute. We'll let you know in a minute. I'm like, are you taking me to jail? Like, are you about to ruin my life? They don't know. She's in critical condition. The other cop told me she was dead.
While making another phone call, the detectives return to issue Kirsty a search warrant for her phone. She's also about to find out something that changes everything.
Hey, Kirsten. Are you actually on the phone with someone?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
What is this?
This is a search warrant.
For what?
We're going to seize your phone.
What?
Yep.
I can't. What?
Yep.
It's a valid search.
Notice the mask is back up now after it's been off this whole time, and the same people that were just in the room with you are back in the room, and she's got the mask on. Redacted said, your tears fall on deaf ears. Yep, Judgment Day.
Search warrant, so I'm the judge. So we need to take your time.
So how
Here's the deal. I just called the doctor, and Fallon is dead. No lie. She's at the morgue right now.
Wow.
She's gone.
Wow.
Her injuries were that bad that they couldn't save her.
Did you just hear that?
Did you just hear that? with no emotion, no anything, no nothing, no tears for this child that you spent 3 days a week with for 4 months, like nothing. Cops fed up with her too. Yeah, that's what I'm. Wow, that's it, right, Abellis?
So they're seizing my phone. So I guess how long are you gonna have my phone for?
Probably as long as it takes for us to process it, which could be 24 hours.
Okay, so when then I come back here, I get it.
Yeah.
We'll contact you to release it back to you.
Because I have Jeffrey's number. I can call him and y'all can come back and get it then.
I know.
You're not getting that phone back. Like you hear how they're lying to her. Like even afterwards, she wouldn't be able to have the phone back until maybe after trial. Like you're not going to be able to come back and get it. Your ass is going to be in county.
I know. All right. Well, let me go ahead and read over this paperwork before I give them my phone.
Let it have her copy to keep.
Okay. All right. Love you. Bye. I actually have quite a few things else right now.
Well, here, before you go.
I have a
Listen,
psychologist appointment tomorrow.
we're going to give you these things back, but we're not going to allow anything to be manipulated. Right?
Ma'am, do you not really like? Nobody cares about your psychologist appointment. You better get on that kiosk and make one with the jail psychologist. What the? Nobody cares. I saved 2 spiders yesterday. I was more worried about bugs than she is about a 2-year-old child. Right. Absolutely infuriating. Real quick, Darlene said, I'm sorry I had to step away for a bit. One of my plugs in the house caused my lights to go out in the back part of my house, so I was helping my hubby figure out what the problem is. Oh, that sounds irritating. Thanks for coming back.
It's not going to be manipulated.
We're going to get back to you right now, okay?
Kirsty's in her custody right now.
I have a psychologist appointment tomorrow. Do you not understand that?
We do understand that.
No, you don't.
You do this.
No, you don't.
Right now, our main priority is investigating.
You just took it out of my phone. Out of my hand.
I did.
Okay.
Yes.
Search one now.
So,
Oh, aren't you lovely?
so, okay, we'll be right back with you, okay?
Aren't you lovely?
So. You go to the bathroom or anything?
What do you mean? I'm leaving.
The hell you are?
No, I'm ready to go. You just took everything from me.
Yeah, come in here and sit and we'll talk.
You just took everything from me. You're trying to ruin my entire life.
No, actually, we're just trying to figure out what we got here. Come with me, come here. Come on 1 second.
No, literally, they're trying to ruin my life, babe.
Man, listen. Hey, listen, look at me. Let's walk in here so we can talk, and I'm gonna answer.
No, you guys are just taking.
Yeah, you want me to explain
Like, I'm
this?
not a human. This is why they talk about y'all the way they talk about y'all.
Okay, and then I understand.
Because y'all don't treat us with respect.
Okay,
You don't
come
even
and ask-
have proof or facts
Ma'am.
or anything, and you're treating me like that. How dare you?
Come in and have a seat.
So disrespectful.
Listen.
Seriously, so disrespectful.
All right, I'll get
Oh
something
my
for
God.
you. Now listen. Okay, okay, let me grab something to clean that up.
Kirsty has just been informed that the child she was looking after, who suffered horrific injuries while in her care, has passed away. This is a child she claims to love as one of her own. Yet when she receives the news, her main concern is that her phone is being seized. She shows no immediate humanity for the fact that Fallon has died. Kirsty says she wants to write a few things down from her phone, but detectives are concerned that she may attempt to destroy evidence. And now that the
Yep. Redacted said, I thought it was going to show up. You know, those people that walk by an ant bed and kick it just because they can, that's sweet people. Yeah. She won't quit. I hate her voice, said Abellis. I do too. She's trying to go to be, no doubt. Save the bugs. Yes. Darlene said. Yes, Abellis, I know it's one bag plug. We turned it off. My stepson does electrical work, so we're going to let him do that. Good. I'm glad y'all got it figured out.
That the warrant has been signed by a judge and served, they can confiscate her device at any time without her consent. After Kirsty's phone was taken, she sent the following message to Chris.
I don't have a phone. They took it. But I love you and Fallon so much and really hope you know I would never hurt her. She's been with me for forever and has always been so happy, and we both know that. She's the sweetest little angel and never even cried. I love you, and I'm praying you find it in your heart to forgive me. And I know I can't say as much as I need to, but I would never hurt her. She was like a second daughter to me. When you're ready, please message me. In the meantime, I'm deactivating my Facebook. I love you.
Kirsty's first interview concluded shortly after this, and she was released pending further investigation into the death of Fallon Fridley. While Kirsty was being questioned, her boyfriend
I can't believe they released her.
Jeffrey Myers was also questioned by the same detectives in another room. According to Kirsty, he and Fallon's stepfather, Cameron, worked together at a landscaping company on different crews where Jeff claims Cameron got him a job. Jeff also claims that he and Kirsty have been together since around 2014 and living together since 2017.
Baby girl said those type of criminals are like that. They can't see anything they did wrong, right?
Jeff admits to being in and out of jail due to addiction, but says that since the birth of his and Kirsty's 8-month-old son, he's been trying to do right by his family. In Jeff's interview, he claims he left work at around 5:30 a.m. on December 9th, and that when he got home from work at around 5 p.m., no one else was in the house. He then proceeded to take a shower like he normally would, and when he got out, Kirsty and the kids had arrived home, he suspects, somewhere in the realm of 6 or 6:30. Jeff is questioned about Fallon's demeanor at this time.
I didn't see her until I got out of the shower. I got out of the shower, and she had already put her to go to sleep. So I didn't see Fallon until she woke up to eat dinner. That's when I saw her.
So she was put to bed for like a nap?
Yeah, she was tired. I could hear her crying like she was trying to put her to sleep, go to nap. You know, when babies get tired, they start whining or whatever.
Jeff continues on, claiming that he heard Kirsty putting Fallon down for a nap. Next, he played with the kids while Kirsty made macaroni and cheese. So far, according to Jeff, he had yet to have any interactions with Fallon.
So the first time you actually physically saw her was like at 8:30?
I saw her asleep. I saw her napping.
Yeah.
And then she cooked dinner, and then when she made dinner, it was like 8:30, she yelled, "Fallon, come eat." She yelled it a few times. Fallon came right out the room, came and gave me a hug, because that was the first time that I had seen her since I'd been home. Really seen her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was fine. She seemed fine. She gave me a hug, sat down at the table, and we tried to get her to eat, and she wouldn't eat, man. I don't know. Kirsten says she deals with that all the time, though, about her not eating. Yeah. So I don't really know what goes on during the day when I'm not there. But
so she came out of the room, ran out of the room like normal. Everything seemed fine.
I didn't think she was going to even hear her name be called, honestly, because she called it from the kitchen. You saw what the kitchen is compared to the bedroom.
It's a little bit ways, yeah.
Right. So I didn't think she was here. She came right out, looked fine, gave me a hug. She made her plate. Both the kids, Harper and Fallon, Holden was already asleep. Sat down at the table. Harper started eating. And
Holden's your son, right?
Yes, sir.
You said he's 8 months.
Yes, sir.
And you said Harper's your daughter?
She's my stepdaughter, pretty much. It's her. She has a baby by now, man. But
you're being the dad.
Yeah. Yes. She's 4. We're about to be 4.
Yeah. Okay.
But they ate. Harper was eating. And she always likes to brag, saying, "Look, I'm eating all my food. I'm eating all my foods," because we're trying to get her to teach Fallon to do that. And so Fallon wouldn't eat. We're like, "Fallon, you don't want to eat, you don't want to eat." We're sitting there and she's just looking at us. She does that sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, she's a very quiet child. But this time, like, I'm trying to get her attention and she's kind of like staring off to the right. Like, she wouldn't.
So I'm listening, and I heard him say that she came running out. That's weird to me that she would come running out, but I'm thinking it was just like the calm before the storm. because she probably already had, I'm assuming she already had the head injury, and the all the other injuries. So maybe it was just like her last bit of exertion before she went downhill for until the end, unfortunately. Darlene said she didn't stay released for long. I hope not, because that's, yeah, I can't even believe they let her go home. Indie Girl said, I gotta go. Okay, babe. We love you. I hope you have a good day.
Wouldn't make eye contact with me. I thought that was weird. So I'm snapping in her face, and eventually she would make eye contact with me and was coherent, like would understand what I was saying. So we said, "Are you okay? You okay?" And she wouldn't say anything. So she was kind of breathing funny, like, I don't know, like maybe she was trying to catch her breath, but wasn't out of breath. I don't know. It was weird, man. I've never heard the noise that she was making before, but we laid her down. She was fine. We stayed there for a few minutes to make sure that, she was okay.
Okay.
We laid her down, saw that she was okay, left out, went and smoked a cigarette. We both said, now let's smoke a cigarette. I said, let's go, when we get done smoking the cigarette, let's go check on Fallon. I'm worried about it. We were both worried about it. She said, we both agreed. We got done smoking the cigarette. I don't know how much time elapsed since then, honestly. No more than 10 minutes, probably 10, 15 minutes. Can't be no longer than that.
Now put yourself in Jeff's shoes. You're starting to suspect something isn't quite right with a 2-year-old in you and your partner's care. She's exhibiting signs that she may not fully be responsive, and her breathing was described as a noise you've never heard her make before. Would your reaction be to disappear outside with your partner to smoke for 10 or 15 minutes and leave the child unattended? Probably not.
So we went back in there.
No, it wouldn't. Redacted said, poor baby, came running out. Oh my God, my heart is broken, right? Yeah.
And she was in the same position that we had laid her in on her side. And, but she wasn't making any, the noise that we had heard from her before. She wasn't doing anything. So I checked her pulse. She grabbed her, she sat her up. We tried to, wake her up. She wouldn't wake up. I checked her pulse. She had a pulse. Tried to get her mouth to mouth, because I could tell that it was like she had shallow. It was really, I could barely feel it. You know what I mean? So we're getting her mouth to mouth. We don't know how to get mouth to mouth. We should have taken that class.
We should have taken that class. I think you should have taken a couple of classes, actually. Darlene said they went out to smoke a cigarette because they knew she messed up and they were nervous about what to do. Listen to what he says. Okay, I'm wondering if, because he was at work, so technically he might not have known. She might not have told him, but from what you're saying, maybe she did tell him. He says all that and then says she was fine. WTF, right? Redacted said smoking cigarettes. She didn't give a F, right? Call 911, fool, right?
Class, and we said we were going to take that class too before Holden was born about the CPR, but we don't know what we were doing, man. So we put her in the bathtub, trying to shock her into waking up. In that situation, I don't know how to handle anything, man. I've never been in a situation like that.
I get it, man. It's scary. It's scary as hell.
And it's not even my kid, you know what I mean? So
I get it. The first time I had to do CPR on a kid, it wasn't my kid. Man, it jacked me up.
Yeah, I don't want to, you don't know your own strength when you're in a situation like that. So you don't want, I was terrified. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. But
okay. So
we put her in the bathtub. She didn't respond to the bathtub. She was only in there for like 15, 20 seconds, maybe. Got her out. I said, let's call 911. Called 911 immediately. The lady walked us through how to give CPR. And then you guys showed up.
Yeah. Okay.
The events described are awful to hear. I just can't understand the reasoning behind the cold bath. And Fallon's breathing that Jeff describes hearing might be what's known as agonal breathing. According to WebMD, agonal breathing is
a natural reflex that happens when your brain is not getting the oxygen it needs to survive. Agonal breathing is a sign that a person is near death.
It seems like whatever happened or began to happen to Fallon that caused her injuries started before she sat at that dinner table.
Was anyone helping
So, being I mean, I've talked about, I used to live a very different lifestyle to all you guys before. And the cold shower thing comes from, it's rumored in communities like the one I used to run with before I got myself all fixed up. Way back in the day, that if somebody had overdosed, that you put them in a shower, you pour ice on them, cold water, and it's supposed to shock them back into being alive. That was before they started handing out Narcan. Like, you can get Narcan for free. I actually keep some in my vehicle just in case I drive by somebody or see somebody homeless. I usually hand it to them just in case. But anyway, before they would give out Narcan, and they made it where if you're calling in an overdose, you won't get in trouble, people would throw people in showers and put ice on them and shock them with cold water to try to bring them back if they had overdosed. So that's probably why they tried to do that, but it's not going to work in a situation like that. Darlene said, I think he knew she had a tendency to lose her temper. He knew, in my opinion, and chose to ignore it. Yeah, she absolutely did, because it wouldn't have been, it's not like she just lashed out and got that mad that one time and that happened. Like, there's something, there's been signs before. Redacted said, who does that? Oh, I know someone that's guilty, right? Bad Girl said, that poor child. Darlene, real quick, said he probably never thought she would go that far. I can hear him asking her, what the hell did you do? Right? Abella said, yes, but that's with substances, not massive injuries. Right. That's different. That's an adult doing, yeah, right. But that's probably why they tried it. Now, like I said, obviously she's got all kinds of injuries and things. Like, it's not going to work in that situation. It's not an overdose. It's a baby. Like, you've got to call 911. I don't understand why they didn't, especially with that rattling breathing. I don't know.
Kirsty babysit today, or she was just with the kid by herself?
She was just, as far as I know, she was just by herself.
Okay.
She's been doing this for months now, man.
Probably since August, something like that?
I know, since summer, taking care of 3 kids with no issues.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So this is like totally
just crazy.
Yeah. I don't know how to feel, man.
It's shocking. You know,
There may not have been any incidents in the months leading up to Fallon's death while Kirsty babysat, but on December 9th of 2020, there definitely was. And right now, that's all that matters. The detective leaves the room for a little while before returning with the second detective from Kirsty's interview. He explains to Jeff that Fallon is alive, even though, like Kirsty, Jeff was already told by another officer that she'd passed. The detective goes on to describe Fallon's injuries in full detail. Jeffrey Myers acts as if there's no way Kirsty Flood could be responsible.
Like she's getting beat or something? Is that
it looks like it.
Sir, I'm not just trying to stick up for my fiance because it's my girl and my baby and my mother or anything like that. This girl does not lay her hands on these children. I can tell you that. I promise you that. I've been a witness to this, to her being a mother to her daughter since she was 1, and I'm not.
Maybe she was able to hide it more in front of him. I mean, there had to be signs, though. You don't just get that mad and do that. Jenny, thank you for saying that. Y'all do have some great comments, everybody. Please consider hitting the thumbs up as well. Darlene said they had guilty knowledge. That's why they didn't call for help. They were panicking. That's why they were smoking. Probably. It makes sense. Redacted said, that's hard for me to believe. Dude didn't know she was abusive. He was around her enough to know. Yeah, I'm not believing that you never saw signs of her being abusive and losing her temper. I'm not.
Not seen her spank her, not one time. So with these injuries, I don't know what happened with Fallon. We love Fallon like she's our own little girl. Like, I can show you pictures where we spend time with her like she's our own kid. So this is completely baffling to me. I don't know where that would come from or how or anything like that. I know that she was sick and her family or her father was, or stepdad was sick or whatever. That's the only thing I know.
Yeah. Well, sickness wouldn't cause the injuries that she has.
Nope.
The detective goes on to inform Jeff that the injuries Fallon sustained were not caused by normal child activities. These were clearly signs of extreme abuse. Jeff rehashes exactly what happened from the moment he got home again for the second detective, before the leading detective asks Jeffrey if Kirsty has ever hit the children.
Abellis said to her daughter, not the other kids. Good point, Abellis. Good point. Darlene said another adult burying their head in the sand like Jen Soto. They know, but choose to live in denial or justify it. Yep. He wants to show pics. Yeah. Redacted. Was he investigated too? I don't remember. I don't think he had anything to do with it, just hearing this, but I'm not sure. He might have gotten in trouble. Pinto said exactly, Darlene. I think it said the babysitter and her boyfriend were charged, so probably. I don't know.
You say you never saw Kirsty ever smack, hit, anything to a kid?
No, sir.
None of your children never saw her head foul?
Well, Owen's only 8 months old, so but Harper, like I said, sir, that's not my kid.
So the title is Monster Babysitter and Boyfriend Savagely Beat 2-year-old Girl to Death. So I'm assuming he did get charged.
I don't discipline him. I don't do anything like that. I let her handle it because I feel like that's right.
Fair enough. I'd probably do the same thing.
She grounds her. She takes away things. She may yell at her. She may curse at her. But I've never seen her lay her hands on her, not one time.
Yeah.
Not in almost 4 years that I've known.
And you weren't home when Fallon actually got there this morning, right? You were already at work.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, man.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'd like to be more help, man. That's just this little girl's okay.
Yeah, me too, because nobody deserves this.
I'm sorry.
All right, let me, we're going to go confer, and we're going to see what we can get you going here, all right?
Yes, sir, for sure.
After detectives leave the room again, Jeff sits alone frantically texting someone from his phone. I don't know who it is for sure he's messaging, but I wonder if it's Kirsty. If you'll remember in her interview, she was also frantically messaging someone while she was alone. Then when detectives return, they inform Jeff that Fallon is no longer alive.
She is now deceased.
Why are they texting each other back and forth in the police station? Like, they're so... Lord, they don't got no book smart. I mean, common sense, street smarts, none of it. Darlene said, yeah, I think they charged them both. At the very least, he failed to render aid. Yeah. Covering up such a brutal crime makes you just as guilty, man. Yeah.
Deceased.
Seems like he's having more of a reaction than she did.
And I think now's the time. If there's information that we know that has not been told to us, now's the time. Because it's now or never.
Oh, man.
She is dead. And this time, I'm not bullshitting. She's down at the morgue right now.
Detectives go on to inform Jeff of Fallon's injuries, but he maintains that he's given them all the information he knows. He also continues to claim that he and Kirsty treated Fallon like one of their own. As the detectives prepare to leave the room again, one of them brings up the topic of disciplining children.
I'm terribly sorry.
That's crazy, man.
He's definitely having way more of a reaction than she ever even thought about having. Redacted said he's lying. Jenny said, right, no empathy, talking to bad girl. He's crying for himself, not Fallon. He did, at least he had more of a reaction to the news than his old lady did. Hey, Squish. Thank you for being here. Squish said, Greg knows he's screwed. Where was that when the baby was being beat? Where was he? Supposedly at work, but I don't know. Thank you for being here, Squish, and thank you for your comment. The cop, quote, this time I'm not bullshitting. Yeah. Right?
It is. That's what I'm telling you. I've got kids too. I've had all my kids obviously are beyond too. But what I'm telling you is that I've had times where I've spanked my child and I was like, damn, did I hit my kid on the ass too hard? And I get mad just like anyone else.
Before I didn't touch the whole discipline thing, but my son's not old enough yet. So
right.
we haven't even gotten to that point yet. You know what I mean? That's why this is.
Well, I mean, like I said, I stand by it. We're being recorded. I
whooped as a kid. And
so
I
don't
know
get me
that.
wrong. I mean, no. What I'm saying is, like, I know there's parameters and limits, but I will never apologize for trying to, because my kids are well mannered. They all say sir and ma'am to people. And they're good. All right. Now there's a person that would listen to this say, I think I'm a fool one step, but I don't give a shit. But I'm saying it doesn't, I get if there is, if people fly off the handle and get.
Squish said, I didn't mean to say Greg. Okay. Yeah. Now that you say that, his name is Jeffrey. Thank you though. Thank you for your comment. And you're good, honey. We know what you mean. Darlene said she probably beat his ass too. It's a possibility.
Pissed because I am again, I'm not lying to you. I'm kind of incapable of doing so. My kids make me more pissed than anything I've ever seen. Now, I can honestly say I've never done anything, even if that means I go outside and see for a minute, but that's all I'm looking for. If there's something that makes more sense because of this, it's just more helpful if that's the case than to not come forward with it. Okay. And that's what I'm basically saying. Even if it's a notion of something that has been said to you, then I would say so. Say, if not, I'm not asking you to say anything that didn't happen.
I want to help you guys. So that's why I've been truthful with you guys.
Understood.
As much as my knowledge.
So, all right. Well, let me go on ahead and find out what's going on, and we'll keep you up and we'll try to hurry up as much as we can. But obviously, you can tell this is
serious.
Not something. Yeah, this isn't something small. So, I'm just going to say this is fine.
After detectives leave, Jeff speaks with someone on the phone and explains the situation. At one point, you can actually hear the moment where Kirsty begins to scream in the other room. This is the point in which things got heated in Kirsty's interview between her and the leading detective.
Psychologist appointment tomorrow. Do you not understand that? You understand that?
You can hear her bitch ass throughout the whole police station. Wow. That's how loud it is in the room he's in. He said, I can hear her yelling. Hold on, I'm going to try to see what they're saying, what she's saying.
So,
Oh, aren't you lovely?
I don't like either. She gets wild up like that. I don't know how she gets.
She gets riled up like that. You know how she gets. So you do know.
What do you mean? I'm leaving. No, I'm ready to go. You just took everything from me.
Yeah, come in here and sit. We'll talk.
You just took everything from me. You're trying to ruin my entire life.
No, actually, we're just trying to figure out what we got. I'm gonna get there now, right?
No, literally, you're trying to ruin my life.
All right, that's my girl. I want to make sure everything's good.
We're trying to get her to cool down. We're trying to get y'all out of here in the next couple minutes. She's upset, as can be expected in a situation like this. Say, all we're trying to do is get her to calm down, take a seat so we can get y'all out of here in the next, hopefully, couple minutes. Okay?
Darlene said, see what he said right there? Yes. Yes. He just said she gets riled up. You know how she gets. She gets riled up. So you knew.
Yeah, like I said, everything's fine. We got to go through. We have to do our due diligence to continue to investigate it to the fullest. Then we're gonna try to get y'all out of here. Okay? That's all it was.
All right.
We and any water, these restroom or anything.
Okay. Okay. For sure.
If you need anything, just knock on the door, wave at the camera, any of those. Okay?
All right.
Jenny Jen said, he's no stranger to her behavior or outburst. Right. Exactly.
Jeffrey Myers is released shortly after this moment, but this is only Jeff's first interview. The following day, on the 11th of December, Jeffrey Myers and Kirsty Flood are brought back into the police station for further questioning about what occurred 2 days prior on December 9th. Kirsty is under the impression that she's just there to pick up the phone detective seized the day before. During Kirsty's second interview, she is re-questioned by a female employee of the department in a non-threatening manner. Kirsty claims that she helped Fallon's mother get back on her feet when she was dealing with addiction at the request of Kirsty's own brother. Kirsty says she's the one who talked Kristen into going into detox before Fallon was born. She also claims that Chris has been clean ever since. Kirsty then makes further unsubstantiated claims about Fallon's stepfather Cameron, while also claiming to look after Fallon primarily out of love. She also said she deactivated her Facebook due to the hate she's been receiving online in regards to the death of Fallon. I'm summarizing here because Kirsty rambles quite a lot. Next, Kirsty is asked about whether or not Fallon was a picky eater, which leads back into the topic of the CPR that was administered to the child.
Was she pretty?
So again, this is the next day. Bad Girl said she only cares about herself, pure evil. And Redacted said he knew she beat on them kids. Yep, I think so. Darlene said he didn't confront her. He might have when his son got older. You notice he said my son ain't old enough. We haven't got to that point yet. Yeah, maybe he would have, but I think he knew. There's no way. He saw her outburst. Bad Girl said, me. It's all about herself. It is. And then Darlene said it wasn't his kids, so he did nothing to keep the peace with her crazy ass. Yeah. He failed her. She might be alive if he had said something or tried to get her in line.
Picky eater? She clearly only ate candy and just so at my house we eat real food. Yeah. You know? We try and incorporate all the, the grain, the veggie, the meat, the spicy, all that. We try to do all that. Yeah. And apparently the sergeant said she had like a carrot lodged down her throat, or in her esophagus or something. I don't know if it's because she just really didn't want to eat it. I don't know. But the fact that like all of that accumulated, that's impossible to accumulate that fast. I'm sorry, but it is.
What do you mean?
All this stuff that detective said happened, with her. He said that she has like a brain something, laceration of the spleen. Yeah. Also, the people, this is too loose, on the recording line, I am not CPR certified, but they made me give her CPR for about 8 minutes straight like this, 2 inches deep. She's flat on her back. She's 2. Yeah. You don't do that with a 2-year-old. And I didn't think about that till later. Okay. You're supposed to flip them over and you're supposed to hit them around the back. There's a reason for it. It's too little right there.
I think Kirsty's wrong about this. I'm no medical expert, but she seems to be describing what's known as back blows that you might give a choking infant. But Fallon was not an infant. Also, Fallon was unconscious. For kids older than 1 and younger than 8, mouth-to-mouth plus chest compressions are the right steps to take when a child is not visibly breathing and responsive. My understanding is that this is the technique used when the assumption is that the problem persists in the child's lungs or airways. The idea is to reoxygenate the blood to save the child. Kirsty Flood critiquing the 911 dispatcher on how to save a life is rich at best.
Right. Like, you're finding fault with the damn EMS workers that are trying to help. Like, you're just blaming everybody. Hey, Eek, it's so good to see you, love. I hope you're doing good. It's so nice to see you.
There was internal whatever. No shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? And my mom brought that up. My mom was like, you don't give CPR to a baby like that. You don't do that. You lift them up and you do behind the back like this. Okay. That's how you get it out of them. Okay. You don't do it like that. So whoever that professional was on the phone needs to know that.
Okay. You think that's how they're saying that the internal injuries?
That's the only thing I could think of. Like they said something about her stomach.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but the thing is they say go between the nipples, right?
Okay.
So when you're 2 years old, it's just kind of like there's not a lot of area right there.
Right.
So I am 200 pounds. She said to get over her like this, and full force, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches like that.
So like when they say 2 inches, you mean like push down, so it goes down 2 inches?
No.
Oh, okay.
What? They wanted me to like plop it, and I'm like, I am not. I mean, I didn't stop. Yeah. I wasn't gonna stop.
I can't believe she's trying to blame the damn EMS person on the phone now. Just anybody and everybody that's around. I'm so glad that you got to catch the lab, Eek. We really missed you. Abella said now she's going to teach others how to give CPR. Yeah, that's how narcissistic this one here is. It's ridiculous.
I was gonna do whatever I had to do, but I'm like, something is not right about this. And then when I would blow the air in her, I would hear this noise in her stomach.
Oh, okay.
And then I would do it again, and it'd be like this, like I don't know what it was, fluid.
Yeah.
What it was.
Probably, unfortunately, the blood that was in there, because they said her stomach was full of blood. Her reaction is so aggravating, said Eek, and I agree. Redacted said, EMTs, are y'all listening? She's teaching y'all how to do it, right? Wait till you hear what she Googled. Oh, goodness.
And then she'd go, I mean, it's traumatizing.
I was just gonna say that's really traumatic.
And I had to literally put her in the tub for saying cold water, maybe shock her toes, something. This is how to lay it like this.
She just laying there.
Nothing. And so
they got the how did that make you feel lady in there trying to get her to admit to shit. Because they know her type. They know she feels like she's in charge. She's going to say so much. She is so ridiculous, Abellis. Fallon was choking on her own blood. She was, bad girl, and that's so sad.
We immediately called 911 after that. We were like, no, we just... Yeah. I was like, please, 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 if there's a heartbeat, there's a chance. Please, 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 please. For the love of God, don't ruin this girl's mom's life.
Oh, you already did that. You were like, please, 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 because you knew you fucked up.
Please. This is going to change her whole life.
Stop. You weren't concerned about that.
I can't imagine. I can't either. Like, I love my baby so much, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I mean, it sounds like you did what you could.
I tried everything. I tried to make her feel like my home was like her home. I tried to make her feel so special. Her mom said she wouldn't even cuddle with her when she'd come in my house in the morning times. A lot of times she would come and just cuddle with me in the bed. Like literally lay there with me for like an hour or two. We wake up sweating together. That's how close we were.
Yeah. They got that woman in there just to let her talk. Itchy Witcher's Horse Rescue. Hey, thank you for being here. Said, oh, it will change your life too. Absolutely, as it should, you know. She has a low IQ and it pisses me off. She ain't got no street smarts or common sense. Like when it came to that, God gave her none. Absolutely none.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then everyone that came over, like my mentor came over on Tuesday and he was like, he's shocked when I called him. He's like, oh my God, that girl loved you so much. I'm so sorry. He's like, I could just see it. He's like, she just was so happy and so sweet, but she was so quiet. That's a problem. She never ever cried. She didn't have anything to say. She just so quiet.
Kirsty tries to convince the woman that she has the patience of a saint and plenty of support around her. She also claims that she reports suspected child abuse to authorities frequently.
But I also am in sobriety, and I also have a mentor. I also have a therapist, and I also have a psychiatrist.
Oh, yeah. You do have all the support. It sounds like it. Abella says she keeps bashing the mom and lying about her life at home. What a freak. Yeah, she does. She sure talks a good game, don't she? Damn, you just never know. She does. We had a girl named Britt in here earlier that said she went to school with the girl that's being questioned right now. And she said she was horrible in school too.
Support. I have a lot of support.
Yeah.
You know,
that's really important.
I have a lot of people who are willing to go to war for me for this. They know that, I mean, anyone that knows me knows that I'm absolutely incapable of doing anything to harm a child ever. I call, you know, you sometimes I call defects on people. A lot. Literally,
that bothers me. I wonder if she's calling for the right reasons. Because if you're calling for the right reasons, you shouldn't be seeing that much actual abuse going on that you call so much.
I heard one girl left her kid in a crib, screaming for like 14 hours a day, like multiple days in a row, and her diaper rash was so bad that whatever. So I called. I was like, yeah, I called immediately.
That's another thing. The doctor, not 14 hours, but the doctors will tell you. I had a baby that had colic, and he cried all the time. And I went to the doctors, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I get upset. It makes me upset because I just want him to stop hurting. And he said that they will tell you that if you ever get overwhelmed, to sit the baby in the crib and just let them cry. It's okay. It's good for their lungs. For, about 30, 45 minutes. I would go in after about 10. I could never leave them the whole time. But doctors will tell you to do that. Not for no damn 14 hours. That's ridiculous. But I feel like she's exaggerating anyway. Oh my God, it was. I tried everything on God's green earth to help. And, that's your child. So you're trying everything to make him stop, because he's screaming because he was hurting his little stomach. Like, all the milk made him throw up. It was horrible. But he was okay. It lasted for about 4 months, and he was okay. They also call it purple crying. Now he's one of the happiest kids you'd ever see.
I heard another girl, she would always just put her kid in front of the TV and a high chair and just let it sit there all day.
Yeah.
It's not parenting.
No.
It's abuse. It's neglect.
Right.
So, things like that, like the neighbor upstairs, like same thing, you have random men going in and out of your house.
She sounds like a Karen.
You leave at 2:00 in the morning every night. Where are you going? You're not going to work.
Right.
What are you doing? Be a mom. You got 3. Come on. Step up. You know what I mean?
Kirsty
Oh, redacted. I'm so sorry. Poor baby.
rehashes the events that led up to the moment that her and Jeff went out to smoke a cigarette, during which time they left the child unattended for 10 to 15 minutes. When they returned, Fallon was completely unresponsive.
And I was like, Fallon, you okay? Fallon.
Isn't it something that the one that calls defects on everybody is going outside and leaving the child unattended to smoke a cigarette? But you don't see the problem. Like, you calling defects on everybody else. You should have called them on yourself right before now. Right. Bad girl. You want to talk abuse? What about Fallon's private parts? Right.
Fallon. She just, and then I pick her up with, and I'm like, oh my God.
This is likely the point at which a reasonable person would definitely call 911.
Oh my God. I knew right then, no matter what we had to do, we had to call the ambulance.
According to Kirsty's previous interview, this is not when she called emergency services. Kirsty is still leaving out the fact that she put Fallon in a cold bath. As she goes on rambling, her story is inconsistent and all over the place. Kirsty eventually tells the interviewer that she likes her energy and believes the detective who originally interviewed her isn't giving her a fair chance. She's worried about her record before continuing to paint Fallon's family in a negative light.
You can't pull something out of nothing. You know what I mean? So you can't just, I know it's a state where it's like innocent proven until proven, whatever.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, but that's just bold, because if you put that on my record and I do, which I will, get, proven innocent, if it goes down that route, it's still going to be on my record. You know what I mean?
Well, ma'am, you shouldn't have done this. You know what I mean? She's just so dramatic with a need to be believed in her lies. It's annoying. She's that type that would lie about what she ate for lunch just to seem cool. Absolutely. And thank you for breaking it down like that, because you hit the nail right on the head with that description, Eek. Redacted said, my parents remind me what they went through with me. Aw. Hey, Rodalie. Hey, thank you for being here, love. Darlene, you got to go? Or are you just saying love y'all? We love you too. We got about a little less than 10 minutes left of this.
So can he really, really think about everything he's going to be doing and really do the research on the father and stuff?
Yeah. And
the mother,
yeah.
The mother's a drunk and the dad's on meth now. And has
What?
Child realization charge. I mean, right. The differences are huge, right? In the dynamics. You look at my home, you look at that home, you look at. I'm not trying to be. I'm just being factual. And why was she so little?
Kirsty is left inside the room again for a while before a new, more official-looking detective appears alongside the female cop whom she met last time she was interviewed. Kirsty is about to repeatedly inform the detective that she has a lawyer, and this is where things really take a turn for her as she discovers she's not there to retrieve her phone.
Kirsty.
Yeah, how are you?
Good. How?
I'm about to feel real good about this right here. Because, with this bitch, I'm so done. Zaya saying hey to Eek. Y'all are so cute. Bad Girl said, I think Britt hit the nail on the head when she said Christy was jealous. She absolutely, yep. And she was.
How are you?
My odd son. There you go.
Listen, I'm Detective Mike Burson. I'm kind of assisting in this whole case.
I thought I was just here to keep our phone.
You are. And I ran.
Okay, Zaya says that at 2 hours and 10 minutes, there is a huge, big, flashing neon light trigger warning. That's going to be in about 4 minutes. Oh, Eek. I'm sorry.
Down there, and they just about got your phone. You didn't have a property receipt, so it's kind of hard to find it. When you have a property receipt, they can pull it that quick. So it's just going to take a couple minutes, okay?
I'm so exhausted.
I know.
Mentally. You don't understand. My heart hurts so bad.
Oh, God. World's tiniest violin playing My Heart Bleeds for you right now.
My God.
I understand. I really do. And I want to make this as fast as I can, okay? All right?
I mean, how did Fallon feel when you were touching her and beating her ass?
Okay. All right. Listen, just because we're gonna
I have
talk
a lawyer. Do you need to talk to him? I'm not supposed to talk to anybody.
Right.
So you're not going to talk to me.
I mean, it just depends what we're going to talk about. I just spent a lot of money on a lawyer for a reason.
She is crying for herself. Yep. And if you just spent a lot of money on a lawyer, they would have told you not to even go down there to get your phone. So everybody knows you're lying. Nobody is giving you your phone right back after they took it into evidence. They're going to keep it for the trial, especially considering you're the last person with the trial. Yeah. And the police call you and say, come get your phone. You're out your rabbit ass mind. No, I'm good. Thank you. That's stupid. And a lawyer would have told her that.
Okay. So you have a lawyer.
The lady made me feel like I was somebody I am not, and I'm not going to be made to feel that way ever again. So my lawyer, that's why I got a lawyer, the way he treated me last night.
Okay. So what you're telling me, you retained a lawyer, correct?
Did. I'll give you his phone number.
Okay, no, that's okay. Okay, then I can't talk to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, all right. I mean, that's
It has all the live footage and everything too.
No, I saw the live footage, but no, if you have a lawyer.
You saw it was great, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I can't talk to you anymore now since you got a lawyer.
I'm just saying, sir, please, take into consideration how much I love this baby.
Believe me, from what I saw, I fully understand, Kirsty. I really do. Okay. All right. Sit tight. We'll get you out of here. Okay. All right.
From what he said, from what I saw, I fully understand. I think he saw her beating that child, and he does fully understand the torment that child went through. Not that she was a good person, in my opinion.
All right, Kirsty, just swing over here this way. Just move your legs out this way.
Why?
Because I gotta put this on you. Okay?
Why?
Because
I have not. No. You're not about to jam me up right now without. No. I never gave you any information about my lawyer. So you can't detain me.
Yeah, we can.
Yes, they can.
For what?
You're under arrest.
For what? For what? For what?
Bring it in.
Under arrest.
You're under arrest.
For what?
I'm gonna show you the ones in it. I'll forget you secured.
I need my phone and my lawyer. Right now.
The fuck you do?
Right now. That's why I came here, was for my phone. Y'all actually just entrapped me, is what you just did.
That's actually not called entrapment.
That is entrapment, because Officer Myers just said I would not be getting locked up the minute I walk in here to get my phone. That's entrapment. I know my laws.
Well, you obviously don't.
That's entrapment. He literally just said he would not be locking me up. That's what he just said. And my children are at home.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're with defects with your mom. They're not with you.
Excuse me, you're not about to pull my leg like that. You need to chill.
They just caught her in a lie, and they were like, no, they're not. They're at defects with your mom. I mean, again, she's lying. My kids are at home. Ma'am, if you're both at the damn police station, who's with the kids then if they're at home? Stop it. Rodalee says, I've been watching this on my TV and the chat covers the right corner. I just realized that was a rabbit on my phone. Aw. Yeah, Zaya made me that. The violence. Yeah. She does need to chill, eat.
Okay.
Right, Abella?
Where is Jeff?
You don't need to worry about him.
In my car and everything else that I own is outside.
Well,
Still outside.
Where's he?
Jeff's in the lobby.
Does he know that you're arresting me?
Not yet. He'll know here in a minute.
Hello. That's why you slept.
Why this one?
Oh, get it now. Okay.
When Kirsty's phone was searched by authorities, they found something chilling in her search history. At around 10 a.m. on December 9th of 2020, the day Fallon sustained her fatal injuries, Kirsty Flood had searched the following phrases. What type of people enjoy abusing other people's children? And what does it mean to have a sudden urge to beat a child that's not yours? This was just hours before Kirsty asked if Fallon...
Oh my God. Wow. She's definitely admonished. We do need to admonish this demonic entity right now. She didn't have no damn lawyer. A lawyer would have told her not to even go there. God, she's so loud, demanding, controlling, and asshole. She is. All right, y'all. I'm going to give you a trigger warning here. It's probably about to get serious. Did you hear what she Googled? I'll take it back one little stitch. We're at 210.13. I'll take it back to 210. Hold on. Oh, now it won't show me. I'll take it to right here, and we'll watch what she Googled again. Hey, Lindsay.
Okay.
No, that was a second ago.
Where is Jeff? In my car and everything else that I own is outside.
She is an asshole. Lindsay Hendricks said, is this the part we could overhear from the other room? No, that was a minute ago. Thank you for being here real quick. She is a dipshit. And we'll see what she Googled real quick, and then we're about to see the camera footage.
Still outside.
Where's he?
Jeff's in the lobby.
Does he know that you're arresting me?
Not yet. He'll know here in a minute.
Hello. That's why you slept.
Why this one?
Oh, get it now. Okay.
When Kirsty's phone
Like, the bitch cares what you think of her anyway, so just stop.
was searched by authorities, they found something chilling in her search history. At around 10 a.m. on December 9th of 2020, the day Fallon sustained her
I said the bitch, but I was talking about, like, the cop cares what that bitch thinks of her anyway. Like, nobody gives a shit. All right, here's what she Googled.
fatal injuries. Kirsty Flood had searched the following phrases. What type of people enjoy abusing other people's children? And what does it mean to have a sudden urge to beat a child that's not yours?
What type of people enjoy abusing other people's children? Demonic spirit entities that need to be Holy Spirit activated and shouldn't be around other children. And what does it mean to have a sudden urge to beat a child that's not yours? It means you need to go to the damn police station and stop it. Demonic. She is this dumb lady. All right. Again, video camera footage. Trigger warning.
This was just hours before Kirsty asked if Fallon could stay at her house. Evidence gathered from the camera feed in Kirsty's home also painted a better picture of how Fallon sustained her injuries. Kirsty Flood was later indicted on the following charges: murder, cruelty to children in the first degree, cruelty to children in the second degree, felony murder, murder in the second degree, tampering with evidence, and finally, shocking everyone, aggravated sexual battery.
Mm.
Yes, Fallon was alleged by grand jurors to have been violated by Kirsty Flood. That's how sick this monster was. This was how much of a liar she was in her interrogation. And on top of everything, she abused Fallon in front of her own 3-year-old daughter, Harper. According to Chris on the Justice for Fallon Facebook page, Kirsty Flood had also been abusing her own children too. She alleges that authorities went back through weeks of Kirsty's nanny cam footage and found other instances of abuse and neglect. She even claims that Kirsty's young son was left in a walker for as long as 8 hours at a time. Jeffrey Myers was also later arrested and indicted on the...
Y'all. She is evil and vile. She is so dumb. What the actual heck? And she had a psychologist. She did, Pinto. Good point. Like, what the hell? They do. Demons do walk among us. Redacted. Said redacted. She is disgusting. She killed that toddler. You ought to see, Lindsay, this one's going to be almost over, but you ought to go back and watch it from the beginning. This is insane.
The following charges: false statements, tampering with evidence, cruelty to children in the second degree, and murder in the second degree. He knew what Kirsty was doing, and he didn't stop it. Then, in a bombshell twist, Kirsty's mother, Karen Flood, was also indicted on the offense of influencing a witness, where it was alleged that she engaged 3-year-old Harper Flood in misleading conduct to prevent her from giving information to Sandy Springs PD in connection with the murder of Fallon Fridley. While Kirsty and Jeff pled not guilty initially, on the 18th of March,
who would have thought that the grandma tried to get the 3-year-old to make up a lie and swear to a lie? She tried to get the 3-year-old to tell a lie to the police when they questioned her about things. Like, you know, judging by the mother and how she acts and how much of a damn spoiled ass brat she is, it doesn't surprise me one bit that the grandma was also trying to get the 3-year-old to lie. Like, not one bit. The whole family, like, they just all need to be yeeted. Just yeet them all the way across the Delaware River. Yeet them motherfuckers right on out of here. Bella said, did you see how she flipped her over her shoulder? Yes. She just picked her up by her arms and threw her over her shoulder. What the fuck was that? I've never in my life seen no shit like that. It was ridiculous.
March 2024, Kirsty Flood changed her plea to guilty and received the punishment of life without parole. Jeff also accepted a guilty plea deal to murder in the second degree. He was handed down a 15-year sentence by a judge. His and Kirsty's pleas made it so that Chris would not have to suffer a lengthy trial in court. I guess at the very least, justice has been served to Kirsty. But believe it or not, the battle wasn't over. DFCS placed Harper Flood in the care of her nearest relative, and that relative was Karen Flood. Harper's paternal side of the family say Kirsty used to call them from jail frequently and protest her innocence, but when they started to realize she was guilty, they stopped taking her calls. According to them,
well, good for them. I don't like the fact that the grandmother has the children, but I guess it could be worse. The grandmother made that monster by allowing her to lie and get away with things. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, so it concerns me about the next generation with the baby Harper, the 3-year-old. You do that to a jacket, not a baby. Right. That shit was sick. It was disgusting. That's why I was like, what the hell was that? But like, I'm glad. I thought it was going to show her actually beating her to death, and I'm glad it didn't.
To them, this is when Harper's biological father, Avery, was cut off from contacting Harper. Kristen Fridley loved Harper Flood and began to promote a campaign run by Harper's biological family called #BringHarperHome. It was aimed at paying for legal bills associated with taking Kirsty's family to court in order to get custody of Harper, who they say, at the time, hadn't even received adequate counseling after witnessing her own mother beat her 2-year-old best friend to death. The GoFundMe raised over $16,000. In May of 2021, Avery was finally awarded custody of Harper Flood.
Thank God. But the custody should have went to the biological father anyway if he could have been cleared by CPS. That's who should have got custody in a case like this anyway.
The last update to the campaign shows countless photos of Harper looking happier than ever with her father, siblings, and paternal side of the family. I have no further updates on Harper's status, but I certainly hope she's doing well and continues to smile. Kristen Fridley continues to post on the Facebook page, where she has since welcomed a son named Asher into the world on December 18th of 2021. She's also looking forward to welcoming a baby girl into the world this year. That baby girl's due date is December 9th, 2024, the day Fallon was attacked.
Oh, wow. Isn't that amazing? I'm so glad that she has another baby, and that isn't that crazy that the due date is going to be on the day Harper was beat to, or not Harper, Fallon was beat to death. Like, I don't know whether that's like poetic or kind of sad. I don't know. That's crazy.
I have little doubt that Fallon's siblings and Harper Flood will ever forget the angel that was Fallon Lynn Fridley. If you see something, say something. Never hesitate to save a life or inform authorities when a child's well-being is threatened. There's no excuse. There are a number of resources that can help. Here's a list of numbers you may need right now. I'm Mr. Black, and this is The Disturbing Truth.
So this is a Justice for Fallon bracelet. You can call the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-422-4453. You can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE or 7233 or 1-800-787-3224, TTD for hearing impaired. National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888, or you can go to https://justiceforchildren.org. So you have that information. All right, and that's the end of that video. Oh, goodness. That was a hard topic. Itchy said maybe it's Fallon reaching from beyond to say, find joy in her life, not sadness. What a poetic way to put that situation. That is absolutely beautiful. I'm glad that you said it that way. Jenny Jen said, yes, if you see something, say something. Eek and Jenny are giving hugs to each other. Redacted said, yes, it's a heavy topic. And Abella said, nice thought. Yeah, it was. That was rough, Pinto. It really was. I had no idea how rough it was. I have a playlist where I'll see videos like that and I'll save them for live streams. And I figured we would talk about that one today. I had no idea that it was like, I mean, you know, the title is that they beat her to death, so I knew it was going to be bad, but my goodness, it was worse. Yeah, it was damn near demonic. Abella said demonic people, that's just sickening. It really was. Rest easy, Fallon, said Bad Girl. Yes, please remember Fallon and her family and Harper and all of the shit she had to see. And they had a little boy too. Like, remember all the victims in this case, please. Jenny just said, thank you everybody for being here today and supporting and interacting in the comments. Absolutely. Yeah, of course she has a camera in her house. I'm so glad that you found this channel. We love you. I love all you guys. And with that, I'm going to go. It's like 5:23. Luckily, I have an easy dinner to make tonight, but I've got to go get on that with the quickness. So thank you all for being here, and I will see you all tomorrow. And I hope you have the best day that you can have after seeing something like that. Again, please say a prayer or to contact your higher power and keep them in your thoughts tonight. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.
Listen up, I gotta tell you, there is something you should know. I have never really liked you at all. I cannot hide it anymore.
Bellis, Basil is good. He's laying on the bed just chilling. I couldn't type it. It kicked it back. Love y'all. See you tomorrow.